right, good afternoon and welcome back to the Dennis Herrera Show. Today we're going to be listening to, man, Robert, you're already here. I just texted you. I guess I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to do anything at all. You said text you, but you are on top of it, my friend. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and listen to this live from a little bit earlier today, about an hour, maybe 2 hours ago, I think. While I took that break after picking up my wife and then going around doing nothing. Robert knows all about it. Shh, keep it between you and me. Nobody else needs to know what the hell happened today. Anyways, today I got my favorite hat. Shut the hell up. It is a hat that I got because I believe it was Robert and Brian. Robert and Brian said that I should have this hat, and therefore the hat it is. All right, let me see. Let me get signed in here. I thought I was already signed in, but I guess I'm not. So that I can go ahead and acknowledge you guys' chats while we're in here. There you go. That's better. Craig said, "What you have a dinner and a movie?" Man, you guys are slave drivers, man. Give me a break, SA. Welcome back, Robert. Cool Cat Renee back in the house. Weddle, welcome. You missed a good one earlier today, but I understand you got to work. You got to do things that you got to do. But I'm glad that you're here. And, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and I still have my translator here from English and Italian. For some of the libtards, we're trying to be smart, eloquent people today. And we had to go to town and go to school and teach them a lesson, see if they could learn anything. I hope that that they learn something. I'm going to tell you this. There is, I think it's like an 18% local taxes. 80% local stack taxes added here in Washington State. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, it is crazy. But after we watch President Donald J. Trump talk over here, we will go ahead and get into my show. All right, for the town. Let's pay attention, see what's going on here.
A lot of friends. Sit down. We have a little time. Just everybody. Thank you very much. And to our great speaker, Speaker Johnson. And hello to the men and women of one of the most consequential Republican majorities in history. It's not a big majority, but it's just about the most consequential. The job you've done is incredible. And they are members that are warriors and really people that are for the American people, and that's why you're doing well, and I think that's why we're going to continue to do well. We're fighting a little tradition, you know. Historically, the person that wins, Democrat or Republican, wins the presidency. For whatever reason, it doesn't work out, but we've done a lot. I don't know. I think we had the best first year of any president ever, and that includes you. You came along with me, and you made it happen. So with your help and hard work, we're making America great again, and we're doing it much faster than we thought, and it's better, stronger, and our country is doing really well. I mean, at a level that nobody thought. We took a little excursion because we felt we had to do that to get rid of some evil, and I think you'll see it's going to be a short-term excursion. How good is our military, right? Amazing. How good. Short term. Short term. Thank you. They're great. You know, we all together, in my first term, we rebuilt our military. And I didn't know I'd be using it so much in the second term, but we have a military like no other. It's not even close. But I especially want to recognize the rest of our amazing House Republican leadership team and so many of my friends that are congressmen, some senators. We have some great people in this room, but including Majority Leader a real brave guy, because I know the real story. I was there that night with him in the hospital when he was given a very small chance of living by a doctor who was very good, by a wife who was desperately in love with him. She cried so much. Because I've seen the other two. I've seen guys at the end of the line, the wives aren't exactly shaken up. When they don't cry, when they have no tears or any sign of tears, this is not a good sign of a great marriage. But he must have a great marriage, because she was just devastated. She was going to lose her guy. But it worked out that the doctor said more blood was put into him than he's ever seen. He was in big trouble. I looked at him that night and I said goodbye to him, but he made it. He was brave, and look at the way he fought back from so many different things. Steve Scalise. And we have another one, Tom Emmer, who I really got to know over the last few years, and I'll tell you, he's a winner. He's a champion with another great wife. We got good wives up in there. Let's say great wife, fine husband. But Tom is just a real champion and a winner, and you have a problem, you go to him, he gets it solved. So thank you very much. Great job. You've done a great job. And our conference chairwoman is Lisa McLean, and we all know Lisa. Don't get on her wrong side. It can be a very, very bad experience. Thank you very much. Great job, Lisa. Great job. And a very special thanks. You know, you broke a record. This is over 20 million. This is it's the biggest of these type of events that there's ever been, by a lot. You know, you didn't just break it, you broke it by a lot. So I want to congratulate you. But there's just great spirit. The Republican Party has fantastic spirit. The level, I don't think, has been seen before. I really don't. We have to get a couple of people on board, which in at least one case is virtually impossible. I wonder who that might be. A sick person. But I want to say a very special thanks to everyone at the Congressional Institute for helping organize this event. This has been amazing. And over the past 9 days, we've been reminded of how vital our Republican majorities are. And it's, it's America's future. We're really fighting because these people, you saw the other night at the State of the Union, you saw these people. They wouldn't stand for a mother who just lost her daughter by having her throat slit from behind. They wouldn't stand for the helicopter pilot who just got the Congressional Medal of Honor for landing safely in Venezuela, a helicopter with a lot of soldiers on that helicopter. And he was able to land it safely, and his leg was practically ripped off. And for those people that know about helicopters, you land them pretty much with your legs, right, Tom? You land them with the legs, and he was in bad shape, and he got it. He got that. Not only landed, he landed in exactly the right spot at exactly as blood was pouring down the aisle, which didn't make all of those soldiers in the back feel too good. They're looking at a pilot who's bleeding out. But they didn't want to stand for that. They didn't want to stand for a 100-year-old soldier who had left a legacy of bravery. Everybody talked about it for years, and it was time for him to get the Congressional Medal of Honor. They didn't want to stand for him. There's something wrong with those people, and we can't let them ever be in a position where they can lead this country again or destroy this country again, because we almost lost this country. This country was close to being lost. The representatives in this room provided the pivotal votes in securing a record $1 trillion for the United States military this year, and now the world is witnessing the importance of that investment with one of the most complex and stunning operations ever conducted, and that's Operation Epic Fury. That's a great name, isn't it? Epic Fury. That's even better than Midnight Hammer, which was pretty good too, right? That was where we knocked out their nuclear potential. That was a big day, because if we didn't do that, they would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks. And I think we'd be in a lot different situation. And then you had, of course, what they did in Venezuela, how that was just so far so good. We've done a real job. We've got all good ones. If you go back and you look at Afghanistan with Biden, one of the worst, I think the most embarrassing moment in the history of our country. If you look at what happened with Jimmy Carter, also with Iran, but if you look at what happened with the helicopters and the hostages, it cost them the election. It was what a mess. The world respects us right now more than they have ever respected us before. And because of Republicans, you people in Congress, the United States has by far the strongest and most powerful military on the face of the earth. We're the strongest military anywhere on the earth, and now everybody understands it. Together with our Israeli partners, we're crushing the enemy in an overwhelming display of technical skill and military force. Iran's drone and missile capability is being utterly demolished. The Navy is gone. It's all lying at the bottom of the ocean. 46 ships, can you believe it? In fact, I got a little upset with our people. I said, what quality of ship? Excellent, sir. Top of the line. I said, why did we just capture the ship? We could have used it. Why did we sink them? They said, it's more fun to sink them. I said, that's not. They like sinking them better. They say it's safer to sink them. I guess it's probably true. But think of it, we knocked out 46, and actually took 3.5 days. Their terrorist leaders are gone. We're counting down the minutes until they will be gone. Think of it, we had leaders, and they're gone. Then we had new leaders, and they're gone. And now nobody has any idea who the people are that are going to be the head of the country, and will not relent until the enemy is totally and decisively defeated. And remember, Iran did so many bad things. They were really, if you look at Soleimani, who was taken out, as you know that, but you know who. But if you look at Soleimani, the father of the roadside, you call it a roadside bomb because most people don't understand the different terms. It was where they plant bombs in roads as you drive by, happily drive by, the bomb goes off, and no matter how strong the armament, it just kills the people. Or you lose your arms, legs, and face, and those bombs got worse and worse, and he got happier and happier, and we took him out. That was a big thing because he was the head. It might have been a much different story. They may have been much more capable than they are had he lived, because he was capable. He was vicious, violent, and capable. But we got rid of him first term, and we did so many things. I mean, we've done so many things, but as you know, on Saturday, I traveled to Dover Air Force Base to be with the families of 6 fallen warriors as they returned to American soil. And I know that everyone in this room joins me in sending our prayers and eternal gratitude to the families of those great heroes. Those families are incredible families, devastating to be. Hardest thing to do, you know, I've done it a lot. The hardest thing to do is to go to Dover, because Dover is where, for the most part, a lot of the fallen, the warriors, the great young people that have died in war, they seem to mostly go to Dover. They come home to Dover. Dover does a great job of handling things. They have men assigned to the family. They have men and women that are incredible, assigned to the families. It's a beautiful thing, but it's also a very sad thing. But they all said one thing to me: make sure you win, sir. Make sure you win. They weren't playing games. They want to make sure. They said it. Everybody said it. They were separate, but everybody said the same thing. Make sure you win. We will. We've already won in many ways, but we haven't won enough. We go forward more determined than ever to achieve ultimate victory that will end this long-running danger once and for all. 47 years. It should have been done a long time ago. The world would have been a different place had some president had the courage to go and do it. They should have done it many, many times. They had many opportunities. The United States of America is the greatest and most exceptional nation in human history and will not be threatened by evil terrorists and lunatics any longer. We just can't do that. And, you know, when I always talk about how great our nation is, I don't know. I don't consider our nation very great for 4 years under Biden. We were a laughingstock all over the world. We were a laughingstock. So, you know, I say great, 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 but I don't know, when you look at what happened with so many different things, the open border, 25 million people, many of them very bad people pouring into our country with open borders that just said, come on in, makes no difference. They emptied their jails into our country. 11,888 murders, 50% of which murdered more than one person. The drug dealers came in, the mentally insane came in, they emptied their mental institutions, they emptied their insane asylum. That's a step above a mental institution. They emptied them all right into our country, and we've done a great job of doing what we've done. Think of it, we have the lowest crime rate that we've ever had. We have the lowest murder rate in 125 years, and we're saddled with all of the problems of the criminals that were let in. You know, look, they're smart people. I know the people that run those countries, every one of them, and they're all streetwise, very smart, and I would do exactly the same thing. They emptied their jails into our country. I said that was going to happen when I heard that they were having open borders. I didn't believe that they were going to happen. When I realized that they actually were going to have open borders, I said, we're going to have every person in jail. We're going to have every drug dealer. We're going to have all these countries all over the world. The Congo, they emptied their jails all the way from the Congo to all parts of South America, Asia. They sent in their people in jail, murderers. Some of the worst people on earth got sent into our country. And I'll tell you what, ICE is unbelievable, what they have to put up with and how tough they have to be. That goes for Border Patrol, and it goes for law enforcement, our law enforcement people. But sadly, even as our service members are fighting bravely to protect America abroad, the Democrat minority in Congress is deliberately sabotaging our national security at home. And you're going through it right now, fellas. I mean, you're going through, it's not even believable. You know, we should be very safe right now, especially when we're attacking somebody that's evil, bad intention. But last week, 53 House Democrats voted against a resolution affirming that Iran remains the world's #1 state sponsor of terror. Who the hell would do that? I mean, almost every act, whether it's Hamas or Hezbollah, no matter what, you take a look, it's Iran or Iran-sponsored. And even more outrageously, as we speak, Democrats have shut down the Department of Homeland Security. They've got it shut down. Do you believe it? Right now. Because they care more about amnesty for illegal alien criminals than about protecting the lives of American citizens. I mean, take a look at it. The American citizen is being scoffed at by Democrats. It doesn't make sense. None of this stuff makes sense to me, you know. When they sat and they wouldn't stand up for incredible people, they just refused to clap, stand up. By the end of the speech, by the way, they were all standing because somebody was passing them. No, you people are getting killed tonight. They were all, they'd stand up for everything I was saying. At the end, that last half hour, they were standing up for things that they shouldn't have stood up for because they got the word, you're getting killed tonight. Stand up and clap for the woman that just lost her daughter, please, to a violent criminal. But Democrats must vote immediately to reopen the Department of Homeland Security so that we have the resources to keep America safe. And under our pro-America, pro-worker, pro-family agenda, our country is winning again and America is respected again. And I think we have a country that's as hot as it's ever been, ever before, maybe hotter. And I say it all the time. The king of Saudi Arabia said it to me better than anybody could say it. He said, you know, I get along with him very well, very smart person. He said, you know, a year and a half ago, your country was dead, absolutely dead. We never thought it was coming back. And now you have the hottest country anywhere in the world. It's true. We're the hottest country anywhere in the world, by far. And that's before we showed off our military strength with Venezuela and now with Iran. You know, Iran was supposed to be this big, powerful country. We wrapped the hell out of them. And, you know, I don't know when they cry uncle, but they should have cried it 2 days ago, right? But they don't have anything left. In our country, inflation is plummeting. Incomes are rising. The economy is surging. Our border is the most secure at any time in American history. And the murder rate is the lowest in 125 years. That's before my father was born. My father was born 6 years later than that. I don't know if he'd like me to say that. Never liked to talk about his age. He said, don't talk about that. But think about 125 years ago, 1900, the year 1900, the stock market has set 53 all-time record highs since the election, and it's going to go a lot higher as soon as we get rid of this stuff that we're doing right now, that we really had no choice. I mean, I asked people, I said, would you rather do this or would you rather go along nice and smoothly, but eventually have a catastrophe the likes of which perhaps the world has never seen? And just about everybody says, except for lunatics, said, no, you had to get it done. Should have been done a long time ago. The average 401k is up almost $35,000. Think of that. It's at the best they've ever done. And I think you're going to see some real numbers when this gets, because this was always a dark cloud hanging over not only Israel, which was going to get wiped out. You know, if we didn't do that B-2 attack, Israel would have been wiped out. They would have had a nuclear weapon within 2 weeks after that. And even now, I think they were looking to take over the Middle East, because when you look, and we have pretty good proof, all of those missiles that were so stupidly aimed at Qatar, Saudi Arabia, UAE, they were all aimed, and others, at countries that were sort of like, leave us alone. They were all right. They were sort of neutral, but they weren't doing it. All of a sudden, they're getting hit with missiles. And they could have gone one of two ways. They could have gone toward their side, like we're with you, or they could have gone with our side, and they really went with our side, and they've helped us, and they've been a big force. But they got hit. But they were going to be hit with us. Had we not done the B-2 raid, and have we not done this one where we said, nope, it's time to go in, we have to go in, have no choice. Number one, if we didn't go in, they would have come in after us, because I see the Democrats trying to justify it, and they're failing because the voter on the street is saying, you've got to be kidding. But I see where they're going, where they're always saying, no, there was no reason. Well, I'll give you the best reason of all. Within a week, they were going to attack us, 100%. They were ready. They had all these missiles, far more than anyone thought. And they were going to attack us. But they were going to attack all of the Middle East and Israel. And if they had a nuclear weapon, they would have used it on Israel. And this was going to be a major attack. And they had all of those missile sites and all those launchers that we got rid of, about 80% of them right now, by the way. Got rid of most of the, see, it's died down to a trickle. There are very few launchers left. What our military has done is amazing. They wiped out almost 20%, maybe 22, 23%, but the rest are going very quickly. And the missiles have been largely knocked out. The drones have been knocked down, and we're hitting where they make the drones. We know them all, and we're knocking the hell out of that now where they manufacture the drones. A lot of work, a lot of brilliant work, but we're going to have a much safer world as soon as it's finished, and it's going to be finished pretty quickly. With the help of our House Republican majority, we passed the largest tax cuts in American history, and we have to be talking about it. And with the great, big, beautiful bill, we delivered no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. And we did something else which is great that nobody ever talks about, Tom, and we have to talk about it. We made interest on auto loans fully deductible. That's never happened. We've never had that. Rich people always get deductions, but middle-income people, people that have to struggle a little bit, never did. But now they can deduct the interest paid against their taxes. We have one little proviso, and I put this on, it's very important, only if the car is made in America, all right? That's going to have a huge impact. That's going to have a huge impact. We passed the Trump accounts to give every child in America a head start on the American dream, and that's so good. It was, I'll tell you, the Dell family, Dell computer, put up $6,250,000,000. Think of it. He started with very little, nothing, very, very little. Started making computers on his bed, and he said, yeah, people started liking them better than the ones from the store. And he never stopped. And he can write a check for $6,250,000,000. He said, and his incredible wife, Susan, they said that's the best thing they've ever done. He's so proud. He's going to do it again. going to do more. And we have a lot of other people. A lot of very rich people are doing it. A lot of people that aren't so rich are doing it. They're doing it for their kids, but it's turning out. So a young child turns 18 or 21, and all of a sudden they have $100,000 in the bank. What a difference that is between having that and having nothing. And it could be more than that. It could be a lot more depending on what happens with the world. And we passed 100% expensing and bonus depreciation on all new equipment, factory construction and investments, and that's what made our first term. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country in the first term, and this one's going to blow it away. Again, we had a little pause, but it's not a very big pause. With your help, we also passed the largest regulation cuts in American history, ending the Green New Scam, one of the greatest scams in history, and massively increasing production of American oil, natural gas, and clean, beautiful coal. We brought coal back. You're not allowed to say coal without clean, beautiful. Got to be clean, beautiful. China uses coal. They're building about 65 massive coal plants right now. But China, great respect for China, but you know, they make all the windmills, right? The only thing they don't do is use the windmills. They make them. But try finding wind farms in China. There aren't too many of them. In my State of the Union address, I laid out an ambitious agenda that should be our roadmap this year, and it's starting with lowering the cost of living. You know, they gave us a mess. We inherited a mess, an absolute mess. And the mess was many things. They were bad with our military. They were bad with everything. I mean, I said, name one thing that they did right. They can't name one thing. But they also gave us very high prices. And then they said the word affordability. That's the first time I ever heard it. They said affordability. My first day in office, they said affordability. They're the ones that caused the problem, but we're really bringing down prices big. Do you notice you don't hear that word anymore, Mike? They don't say it anymore because we brought down prices so much. So our message is simple. Democrats created the high prices, and our policies are totally ending them, and they're ended, and we're doing better. We're even bringing them down further. They'll be way down, and we're bringing, you know, if you go back into the last period, I would say, I think it's 2.5 months, 1.7% inflation. 3 months, 1.45% inflation. Think of that. Whereas they had the highest inflation in the history, the single highest inflation in the history of our country. Now, you know, I always say this. They say 48 years because I don't want the fake news to get me on this. They say it wasn't history, it was 48 years. That the inflation was the highest in 48 years. But I don't know, in some ways 48 years sounds even worse because it's very specific. Yeah. But they had the highest inflation probably in history, but in 48 years, we inherited that. One of the first targets must be the crushing healthcare. We have to crush and take over the healthcare situation, which we can do. For the first time, we can do it since the passage of the Unaffordable Care Act. Big insurance companies have gotten rich. They've made money like practically no other companies have made, with our government giving them hundreds of billions of dollars, and their stock prices soaring to up to 1,700%, 1,000%, 1,200%, 1,600%, and even 1,700%. The government gave them essentially trillions of dollars. And I want that money to be paid to the person, not to the insurance company, and let them go out and buy their own health care. And people love it. People love it. You'll get better health care at a much lower cost, and they'll be sort of part of the system. But the money we spend on is so much. We spend numbers that nobody could even believe. But the health care companies, because the Democrats are owned by the insurance companies, remember that. And so they have a problem. That's why it's hard to get it fixed, because they are totally owned and controlled by the healthcare, by the insurance companies. Healthcare insurance, but the insurance companies themselves. So when you want to do something that's good for the people but bad for the insurance companies, it's very, very hard for them to go in a different way. Now, Republicans never do that kind of thing, right? You're owned by nobody, right? Nobody. See, a young girl up here say yes. Some of them are a little bit shaky, but they're Republicans. We love them. We love them anyway, right, Mike? But they are owned by those big, powerful insurance companies that are making a fortune, and it's hard to get them to do the right thing. They know what the right thing is. So we want the money to be paid directly to the people and let the people go out and buy their own health care, and people love it. They love it. We can own the issue. For the first time ever, Republicans can own that issue. I'm also asking you to take swift action to codify my most favored nation policy on drug prices, the biggest. That alone should win the midterms. We have, and I tell this story all the time, my first term, third year, I actually had a slight, it was 0.25% decline in drug prices. First time in 28 years. I was so proud. I went home, told our great First Lady, who's now a movie star, I got the biggest, can you believe that? That movie was hot, and it is hot. She became a movie star. It was a good movie. But I went home and I said, you know, it's amazing. We do so well, we work so hard. This issue is the single biggest issue. Okay. I had a news conference, I'm embarrassed to say, a long time ago, my first term, third year, because I went up to a level that I did things that nobody's ever done. 28 years, I brought it down 0.25%. Now I brought it down 80%, 90%, 75%, depending the way it's driving the fake news crazy because I say 400%, 500%, 600, depending on the way you want to talk about it, if you want to talk about pricing. But using a conservative number, what we've done is we paid the highest price for drugs anywhere in the world, and now we pay the lowest price for drugs anywhere in the world. We are tied for the lowest price. Whoever has the lowest price, that's what we pay. And I did that through tariffs. We had a little disappointing decision, to put it mildly, from the Supreme Court. Terrible decision for the people. But the good news is I have lots of other ways of doing the same thing. I just have to work a little harder. They want me to work harder, but we're doing the same thing with a lot of work. But I used tariffs to get this because I went to other countries. The drug companies were not easy, but I got them. And I said, we're not paying. We were paying for a pill $130 that in London and Germany and different places you'd pay $10. So we were paying 13 times more. They're paying $10, we're paying $130. And the drug companies, I called them in. We had a rough time, but it wasn't that bad. And they agreed because they knew that I couldn't get the countries. You had to get the countries to approve it. And I called up, and you've heard me say this a couple of times, not often, but I called the countries up. I called up France. I said, Emmanuel, you have to cut your good friends from America a reasonable deal. What's happening is you are paying a tiny fraction for drugs. No, Donald, I cannot do anything about that. I said, you can. He said, no, I will not do it. I will not do it. Because he'd have to raise his pill from $10 to $20 and maybe even $30. Ours would come down from $13, $130 down to $20. Think of that. From $130. That's what you're going to get. From $130 to $20. But he has to double his price from $10, and they were the boss. I said, no, you will. No, Donald, I cannot do that. And I heard this from all the other countries, too, very elegant people. And they were saying, no, we cannot do this. We will not do this. I said, yes, you will, 100%. No, we will not. Because, they have to double up their prices. And I said, well, here's the story. If you don't do it, I'm going to put, in the case of Emmanuel, I said a 100% tariff on all wines and champagnes coming into the United States. No, Donald, you cannot do that. I said, I've already got the legislation. It's right in front of my desk. I'm going to sign it. Emmanuel, he said, Donald, I will agree to this. So he agreed. Everybody agreed. I got every country to agree. And now you've done something that no other president could have done. No, I don't want to brag. But, they've said this about a lot of things. No other president could do some of this shit I'm doing. No other president. The things I'm doing, nobody else was going to do it. They say it all the time, sir, could you do this? You're the only one can do it. But we got it done, and we got the countries to all go along. Because I said, if you don't do it, I'm going to raise your tariffs to 200%, to 150%, and that's 10 times more than I'm asking for. And every single one, if it took me 5 minutes, that was like a long time. I was doing badly with that one. So now we have most favored nation pricing into permanent law, and you should codify it. But I don't care that much about codifying it, because what politician is going to agree to increase drug prices by 500%, okay? So, but it's still good to have it codified. Don't you agree? You know, they're saying, sir, we have to codify it. I said, that's okay, but I'm not. Other things you should codify. That I can tell you. This one, you should codify, because you want to take credit for it. You want to take credit for it. So if you can, please codify it. Get out there and codify. You're getting an 80%, 85%, 55%, 70% reduction in drug prices. Codify it. But if you don't, no president's going to raise it, in my opinion. Although they are crazy, you know, these people are crazy. They could find a way. You better get it codified. And as we work to bring down interest rates so that more Americans afford a house, I'm also asking you to ban the Wall Street firms, large Wall Street firms, institutional investors, from buying up thousands and thousands of single-family homes, hundreds of thousands of homes, because homes really are for people, not for hedge funds. We want to get the market out so they can do it, and we're stopping it. We want people to be able to buy a house. It's the American dream. Buying a house is a part of the American dream. And we must also stand up for the safety of our citizens. One of my guests at the State of the Union was Anya Zarutska, the mother of beautiful 23-year-old Ukrainian girl who was stabbed to death on a train in North Carolina by a deranged criminal, arrested more than a dozen times. And I had the mother, as you know, at the State of the Union, and she was devastated. Beautiful woman, devastated. Uncontrollably devastated. And we couldn't get one Democrat to even clap. The Republicans clapped and went wild, and they loved her. Not one Democrat in that whole room even thought about clapping. They sat there frozen-faced. Disgusting. House Republicans should get every member of Congress on record and pass a tough new crime bill that imposes harsh penalties for dangerous repeat offenders, which this nut was, cracks down on rogue judges and prosecutors, and ends no cash bail once and for all. No cash bail is a big part. I mean, you have a man murder somebody, and by that afternoon, he's out on bail. No cash bail. It's a huge problem. We also need to end deadly sanctuary cities, and you have bills before you now, and you're working on things, but hopefully you can do that, Mike, because it's terrible. They're sanctuary for criminals. That's all they are, sanctuary for criminals. They fight ICE all the time. That was the problem up in Minnesota. They had a lot of criminals in there. They wouldn't give it to us. And to stop illegal aliens who cannot even speak English from driving 18-wheel tractor trailers, they have no idea what they're reading. I wouldn't be able to do it in their countries. There's arrows, there's speed limits. They have no idea what they're reading. And in many cases, they're on drugs on top of that. We need to ban any state from granting commercial driver's licenses to illegal aliens. Have to do it. And I want to thank House Republicans for passing another common sense measure. I would think it's the easiest thing. I just told Mike. You know, you were at $19 million. I have to say this because I've never contributed. I was a huge contributor for years and years. Once I became president, I never contributed any money, because the greatest thing about being president is I no longer have to contribute. Nobody ever asked me for money. They asked me for my endorsement. I've endorsed just about everybody in the room. But keep winning, right? Yeah. 124-0 this Tuesday. 124 wins, no losses. Is that good? And there were some rebels. We endorsed a few rebels, right? A few that Mike was saying, it's going to be a tough one. But we're 124-0. But as president, nobody ever asked me for money. And as president, you know, like as president, you sort of don't make campaign contributions. It doesn't even. But I heard you were at $19 million today. I said, has that ever been done? No, sir, it's a record, but 20 would sound better, right, Mike? Yes. He said, I'm going to give you $1 million. It's the first time I've done it. I never did it before. I never did it before. I never did it before. Now I'll be hit up by every political group, every Republican running. Sir, could I have some, give me a little cash. I'll have Emmer come up to me and say, how about a little cash for my campaign? I will no longer have the excuse that as president, anyway, no, but we had to hit the 20, right? We had to hit the 20. That was a hell of a thing. You beat it by a lot. You beat the record, the previous record by a lot. But I want to thank House Republicans for passing another common sense measure. To me, the easiest of all, the Save America Act to protect our sacred American. Look at this. Look. It's the easiest thing we have. I can't, it's the easiest thing we have. Now, the problem is you call it the SAVE Act, and nobody knew what the hell the SAVE Act. Have you been seeing, I've been working overtime the last month. It's called the, capital the Save America Act. And I saw Schumer yesterday, we will stop Save America. He's getting killed. They can't do it. And then the things within the Save America are so good. But just the title. So we had that with MAGA. Greatest name of all time. Make America Great Again. MAGA. It just worked. You know, I had something, Keep America Great. It was good, but it didn't have that MAGA. You know, there was nothing you could see. I had CAG. And CAG, I said, you know, no longer, that's not good. But MAGA is great, and we'll always respect MAGA. We love MAGA. We're never going to let you down with MAGA. But this one's even better if you think about it. This says, America. We're going to save America. The Save America. How can they fight us? The Save America Act. And I've watched them. I watched Schumer, who's horrible. What a horrible politician. He is now a Palestinian officially. He is registered as a Palestinian. He's taken the biggest turn of any human being I've ever seen. He's gone from totally pro-Israel to totally pro-Palestinian. He wants to protect the Iranian people that are quite nasty. But it's very simple. All voters must show the act. Voter ID. Ready? This is not complicated. Voter identification. Now, if, you know, I have a whole list, but I don't want to put, I have like hundreds of things on the list. If you go shopping, if you do this, if you buy a car, if you license a car, if you point to everything you need to have identification. So all voters have to show identification, ID. All voters must show proof of citizenship in order to vote. So you have ID and you have citizenship. So far, good. No mail-in ballots except for illness, disability, military, or travel. Mail-in ballots are a disaster. Jimmy Carter, the best thing he ever did, he headed a commission after he was president. It was the single best thing, and he did a thing on mail-in ballots. He said mail-in ballots should not be allowed because they are inherently dishonest. And we have seen it time and time again, and we just keep going with it. And I put that down as a top three. Look, no mail-in. Now, you have the exceptions for the military, and I would even say foreign-based military. But for the military, for disability, for illness, and if you're traveling, you know, you have an excuse. And I was lenient on that. But those three things. Then I added two more. These are best of, you know, best of. These are called best of Trump. We should also add on to this bill. And so what I've asked Mike to do is to draw a new one with these few things added. And let's go for the gold. Let's not just get one like voter ID, but, you know, it can be given to you by your daughter. You know, your daughter, she has to be of age, like above 6 years old, she's allowed to say. You had to see some of this stuff is so bad. They're doing everything possible because they know if we get this, they'll probably won't win an election for 50 years, okay? And maybe longer. And they're going to fight like hell. But boy, do they get killed. Because even the Democrats, you saw the numbers today, Democrats voted 86% that this stuff should be passed. The Democrats. With Republicans, you're at 98%. But Democrats are at 86, except for the people that run the Democrat Party, because they want to try and win elections illegally. It's the only reason you vote against voter ID is because you want to cheat. There's no other reason. They come up with reasons. They say, it's racist. That's their number one, racist. Then you have to explain it, and they're just sitting there mumbling. They can't explain it. And it's actually very insulting when they use the term racist. Very insulting to the people that they're trying to so-called defend, but they're not defending. Then I wanted to add two more to it because they're, I say 95%, maybe 100%. No men in women's sports, very simple. Add that in. And I wanted to add in one other, I'm not even adding in no open borders because, you know, there's some people that like open borders. These people are crazy, but that's okay. Because I want 5 things that are like close to 100%. No transgender mutilation surgery for our children. You can't have transgender for our children. So those 5 things, 5 things. Voter ID, citizenship, mail-in ballots, no mail-in ballots, right? We don't want men playing in women's sports. That's got to be about close to 100%. We don't want men playing in women's sports and no transgender mutilation of our children. Now, that should be the easiest thing to get past that you've ever had. Each one, it's best of Trump. Those are best of Trump. I have some that are very popular, but I wouldn't put them in that category. This is the number one priority. It should be for the House. And I'd like to ask Tom, Steve, Mike, all of you, if you would, I'd like to have you go back and Lisa, hello, darling. She was screaming her affirmation of what I said. The kid went wild. She was so happy that somebody finally said, let's vote on this. Lisa, you're going to get it done. Okay, I'm going to count on you. Forget the men up here. I'm going to count.
Deal.
But it's actually a matter in a serious way of national survival. We can't have these elections going on like this anymore. You know, you use paper ballots. If right now they have watermark, it's so safe, it's so good. You put it, it gets under a light. It says, you know, a code. It's very, very hard to cheat. Another thing, and I don't even bring this up, it costs 7% the cost of those crazy machines. You know, I love the machines where they get the machines, they spend all this money, and they announce during the election that the tabulation will go along for another 3 weeks, right? With mail-in voting, you know, there's not a country in the world that does mail-in ballots anymore. They tried it. France tried it. It failed. They go to paper ballots. They're all doing paper ballots right now. Most of them are doing paper ballots, except us. And nobody is doing what we're doing. And there's no elections so corrupt as the elections in the United States of America. And we can solve them with this. And the reason I put those other 2 that have not much to do with it is because they are equally popular. And I think it might help us. And for those people that like FISA, I said, maybe you put them together because a lot of people feel very strongly about FISA. Some people don't, but the people that want it, they really want it. And generally, for whatever reason, they're opposed to what we're saying about, you know, about the ballots and about citizenship and all of those things. And so put them together and you might get a vote, but we have to get it done. And then we have to get the Senate to do it. But if you could send a bill up to the Senate, we're going for the gold. We don't want what was said. The SAVE Act, it was all right. Nobody knew what the hell it was, including me. I kept saying, what's this? Save America Act. Don't ever say SAVE Act again. It's a loser. The SAVE Act. Nobody has any idea what are we trying to save. It's the Save America Act. If you could send it up in full form, meaning just straight. I think the Senate has to approve it. I really do. I think, and they're going to have to go the filibuster, and maybe it's going to be the talking filibuster like the old days. The great Jimmy Stewart, right? Remember the great movie, Jimmy Stewart? But they have to get it done, because if we don't get this done, if it takes you 6 months, I'm for not approving anything. I'm for not approving anything. I don't think we should approve anything until this is approved. And they can't win politically. Look, you have them in a corner, and they're listening to every word I'm saying, and it doesn't matter, because they can't win it politically. Because when they say, we don't want voter identification, we don't want proof of citizenship, all these things are just losers for them. And they won't be able to withstand it. Just like at the State of the Union, they started clapping at the end. I said that. And the reason, because politically, you have to stand for these great people that were being. And the word came out from people watching it on television, you guys are getting killed. And this is an even bigger example. So if I could ask the people in this room to go for the gold. We're going for the gold. We're not going for the bronze. We're not going to sign a watered-down version like has been sent up there. Let's go for the gold, and let's just not accept anything else. I'll tell you what, I'm willing to just sort of say I'm not going to sign anything until this is approved. I really am. That's how bad it is. And we're going to have to push the Senate, because you have 4 or 5 senators that are, I don't know, 4 or 5 Republican senators. You'll have to explain them to me, but we're not going to get into that. But we're going to push them to get it done, because I don't think you can politically exist if you're not going to do voter ID and these things. I don't think the people in this country will stand for it. So I'm making my biggest plea tonight. It'll make you, and I'm not doing it for this reason at all. It'll guarantee the midterms. It'll guarantee the midterms. If you don't get it, big trouble, my opinion. If you get this, your midterms, and they know it. For 2 reasons. Number 1, they won't be able to cheat. And number 2, the people are demanding it. Every time I go out, Save America, sir, Save America Act. We want the Save America Act, sir. That's all they talk about. They don't talk about housing. They don't talk about anything. That's what they talk about. And if you send it up there, you're going to win the midterms at levels that you can't even believe. And you're going to win every election for a long time until somebody really screws things up, and hopefully that won't happen. But I've never been more confident that if we keep these promises and deliver on this popular agenda, the American people will stand with us in overwhelming numbers, just as they did in 2024. I heard Mike say it's actually 78 million votes, but it was actually 86. You know, they cheated like hell, but it was too big to rig. Remember? I won 3 times. First time was great. Second time, they cheated like hell. It was COVID. And their cheating was at an inspirational level. We can't let that ever happen again. And then they cheated again in the last election, but I went up. The term I used most was too big to rig. You got to go out, don't believe, because we had polls having us way up. I said, don't believe the polls. Go out and vote. Make it too big to rig. And that's what happened. A couple of races they cheated on, they got away with it. A couple of Senate races, my opinion. But we have to make it too big to rig, and that's what we did. But we shouldn't have to win an election that way. You're going to have a hard time winning elections that way. So you got to get that passed. And if we fight, we will win, and we will make our country safer and stronger and richer and greater than it ever has been before. And I want to say, very importantly, because they would like you not to say this, because this is a terrible thing in their opinion to say, God bless you and God bless America. Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
Ba, 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 da, da, ba, da, ba, da, ba, ba, ba. Ba, ba, da, da, ba, da, ba, ba. Young men. YMCA, baby. That song is so popular. Thanks to President Donald J. Trump. I will go ahead and be taking some call-ins. And, well, here you go. Here's the update there. So you guys can go ahead and call the number if you have a question. You can ask me a question directly, and I will be more than happy to give you my answer, my opinion, my sole opinion, my sole answer. And yeah, let's talk about it. Let's see what's going on. Let's see how many calls we can get here. I'll give you a 5 minute limit. So when you're ready, go ahead and give it a call. But we have, let me see. Hey, look at that, William. William, you are the stream boss of the night. When the night has come. Okay, William is the stream boss of the chat. All right, for all of you, for all of you beautiful brothers and sisters that stand for America, enjoy this little bit of beat and the president, the POTUS, doing his dance for the stream boss chat. William, the big boss, El Jefe, El Patron. You got in there with $2 super chat, it looks like. So every time somebody subscribes, the stream boss chat loses some health. When people put super chats on there, the health drops drastically. So I sometimes forget. But if you play the game, when you put a super chat, if the name of the street boss chat change to yours, you have the right to demand that you get recognized as the boss of the chat. And with that being said, thank you guys for liking this video. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for subscribing, and especially those who become members. Thank you so much for you guys are supporting me every month, and I appreciate that. Guys, this is what I do for a living. I do entertainment. I give you my opinion. We'll talk smack. We talk about all this other stuff, politics, religion. Sometimes we just tell each other stories. But this is what I do for a business. And so if you are supporting me, I appreciate that. Thank you to all my American patriots. You know who you are. Appreciate you. Love you guys. All right, let's see. Let's see who's going to be the first caller. Mindspeak cannot call. The guy is hammered. He's too drunk. I want people that are coherent, that can actually have a conversation with a legitimate question. Go ahead. Hey, listen, making fun of my accent, making fun of my fat face, calling me fat and calling me names, that doesn't benefit you. Maybe it does. Who knows? If it does, just whatever. Just keep doing what you're doing. But if you would like to have an honest opinion, you can ask me a question and I will give you my answer. So let me see. Some people are saying, why don't you enlist, go and fight in Iran? I find that so, what's the word that I'm looking for? I find it so ironic that a socialist Democrat, one of those lazy people that don't want to work, those people that hate the rich people for some reason, that they will ask me that. Make sure that it's not a patriot calling. I'm waiting for libtards to ask a question. Robert, what is it? Yes, Robert.
Yo, you're slacking, man.
¿Qué pasa?
Where's that Honduran flag you said you were going to get?
Oh, it's not slacking. You're slacking. You're not paying attention to the show. I said earlier that I have to wait another 8 days before the Honduran flag is here. So I got to put
I
in
know, but I
the.
was at the doctor's office and couldn't be on the live.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, you're forgiven. Tanya asked that question earlier, and so I told her.
That thing you were putting in the chat that I sent you the screenshot of, Dennis,
Yeah,
you need to do it like I have it
can't put
so
it that
it
way.
makes sense to people when they see it.
Well, the libtards got to figure it out on their own because it won't let me put it that way. He's talking about
No, I'm
this
saying, you
just
know
in
how you have
case.
the graphic of the flag behind you? Or
Yeah.
you bring a video up on the screen?
Uh-huh.
You can do it that way.
Oh, you're talking about. Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah. We can do that later. Yeah, I'll work on it. I'll put it like that next time. But they can still read it. They know what haters are. I think Tanya liked it. I think she read it. It's for people to have common sense, we don't have a problem with it. I think the libtards are the only ones that have a problem because they never leer anything from the Leering Center.
Well, I know. That's why I said you got to do it the way I said it.
No, let,
So
let them
they'll
work for it. Let them
understand
work for it. Don't make it too easy. This socialist Democrats are getting too lazy. They gotta, if they want to come in here, they gotta try to figure out how to read sometimes.
Okay, so I know what my opinion is on going after Cuba next. What's yours?
Yeah, Cuba's definitely in the radar. Huge. I think we're already in Cuba, to be honest. But
We,
yes,
we, 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 we need to because the Cuban citizens are starving to death.
yeah, yeah.
Literally.
Man, I'm so tired, bro. Let me see if I can get some of these people in here on the left to ask me some questions. Hey, Rock James, you can go ahead and call, brother. There's the phone number
All right,
right
I'll
there.
talk to you later.
All right, brother. Thanks for calling, man.
Bye.
Bye. Go ahead, Rock James. You can go ahead and call, and we can have a conversation. Let me see what the problem is that you have with my POTUS. Now, I want you guys to remember, if President Trump is not your president, you cannot take credit for anything that he has done. So you cannot take credit for these big leaders respecting our country. You cannot take credit for a secure border. You cannot take credit for ICE getting rid of criminals and illegal immigrants from this country. You cannot take credit for anything that the military is doing overseas. Nothing. You guys can take no credit. Now, I will say this. I don't think we need it, but if there was a draft, I'm going to tell you something. I think if there was a draft, it would be enough for me to try to fix myself a little bit. I don't know. Maybe there's some things that I can do for my knees. Maybe there's some things that I can do. I know I can pick muscle really fast. I know that I can train hard and I can get semi-fit to be able to carry out some sort of mission, even if I die in the process. You know what? We're not afraid of dying for our country. People misunderstand love, kindness, and holding back as weakness. That's not what that is. If you don't know why we are jokeful, we make fun of each other, we call each other's names. If you don't know why we try to be nice to each other, I don't think you'll ever understand what it's like. But I'm gonna tell you something. We are not cowards, and we can be afraid, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna stop doing what we need to do. As a matter of fact, all of you guys will get the privilege of seeing me out on the street campaigning. But I want to tell you something. If you really want change, if you are in Washington State, if you want change, you will vote for me. If you don't, then you're going to miss out. You know what I think is interesting is I was watching some movies that the people just act so bad, so rebellious. There is this movie, I forget what the name of the movie is, but it's one of the Sylvester Stallone's last movies where he is this like superhuman sort of person, and he's the bad guy, and He tries to rehabilitate himself, and he tries to stay away from violence and all this stuff. But that's not who I'm going to compare the libtards to. I'm going to compare the libtards to the people on the street that wear masks like Antifa. Those insecure bastards out there that are causing havoc in our cities, rioting, intimidating people, being violent, being bullies only because of the insecurity that they have in their life. No, not the expandables. He is like he carries like a big sledgehammer. They call him Nemesis. I forget what the name of the movie is. But if you watch Escape from New York, Escape from L.A., movies from the 80s, right, with Kurt Russell, if you watch, if you play video games, like Fallout, right, Red Dead Redemption, if you play this kind of video games, this is how people want to live. They want to live lawlessly. That's just that's the only thing, the only way I can think of. And they want to be the bad people of the movies, like the bad bullies from Karate Kid, or they want to be the bad New Yorkers, street gangs, from movies from Rumble in the Bronx, with Jackie Chan. All of these movies, I want you to know, all of these movies show all of these things that we see on the street from people that don't follow the law. I kid you not. And I understand that there is a lot of corrupted politicians. That is true. And it's the same on the red as it is on the blue. It's the same on the left and right. There is corrupted politicians on both sides of the aisle. But what I see the most obvious is that in blue cities and states, the American people are being screwed over. At the State of the Union speech, when we were reminded that government is supposed to prioritize American citizens over illegal immigrants, Democrats just shrugged their shoulder and stayed sitting down and gave us the big middle finger. Deduct yourself. Think about it. Why do we secure the border? Let me ask a legitimate question. And guys, stop calling so much. The phone is ringing too much. Where's all those people that are calling me liar? I need you to call, ask me a question. I want you to ask yourself this question, and this will give you some answers, maybe answers that you're seeking. Answer me this: do you believe that having a secure border is good border, and why? A lot of people that are a little hippie libtards, I call them. Hippie libtards. They think there should be no borders, which means that there should be no countries. Well, before we became a country, there was a problem. There was a problem on our native lands. If you came across the land and you didn't speak the language, most likely you would be killed. If you went into the wrong area where you didn't belong, you will become a slave of the stronger villages. That's how that works. There we go. We get some real questions over here. Let's take a look. Hey, thanks for calling. Who's calling?
Hey, I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, and you said you're running for office, but I never heard of you before. Tell me about
I'm in Washington State. Washington State.
What's that?
I'm in Washington State, running for governor of Washington State. In May, first week of May, we get a window of about 4 or 5 days to put our name on the ballots. And, we're going to run against almost 70% Democratic state. I would like to see it as Americans instead of blue and red, but we'll see what happens.
Have you got the Republican Party behind you, or is it just your grassroots friends and?
Yeah, I have no party alliance.
Okay.
Yeah, but if I was going to have a party alliance, I wouldn't mind being a Democrat. Let me tell you the only reason why, because I would like to show people that not everybody can be a retard in the party.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why I would like to be a Democrat. And to be honest, I supported Democrats before I supported Republicans. And it seems like I'm supporting only Republicans, but that's not what I'm following. I'm following the policies. The policies that we have today in the Republican Party.
Right.
Those are Democratic policies. Those are
Well,
policies that we've been following for me in the '90s.
I'm old enough to remember, and I supported JFK and voted for RFK. And Tip O'Neill and Ronald Reagan got along wonderfully, even though
Yeah,
they had different views. That's what America
that's
used
true.
to be.
Yeah,
We
that's
used
true.
to be civilized.
Yes, sir. You know what? I miss that, and I think maybe that's why I like Ronald Reagan so much, even though I
Yeah.
was here at the end of his presidency. But I think that's probably why I feel that here in America. See, that's the American spirit. That's what I'm talking about. You just hit the nail on the head. That is exactly what I'm talking about. It's we have changed from, Americans back in the day. I don't know how far back I can go, but it was back in the day. For me, it was the early '80s, where we watch these movies, and the American dream was to be able to own a house with a white
Right.
picket fence, where the wife can raise the children with good morals, good Christian
Right.
foundations, great education, and the husband will work his ass off to bring some food into the table, pay the bills. We lost that nuclear family, and I think that's what we're fighting for. We're trying to make sure that we hold on to that. And for some reason, this new socialist Democrats that we have, they're not the Democrats that we know. And they want to mutilate our children, and they want to be tyrants, and just raising taxes. I
And
mean,
they can't stand up for American people. They won't stand
yeah,
to support American citizens. I have no idea where the party went, but it has nothing to do with RFK and JFK and even Tip
yeah,
O'Neill and Ronald Reagan, who started off a Democrat.
yeah,
And people don't know that. I want to tell you something that people listening who are younger than me, 40s and 30s, and maybe even 50s, I did not have a house key until I was in high school. We didn't need one because our neighbors looked out for each other. And that civilization has disappeared in my lifetime.
it's true.
Yep.
Yeah,
And I'm so angry about it. I've been thinking about doing what you're doing, running
yeah,
for governor of Nevada, just to make a point. I know I'm not going to win, but I might make a point.
yeah. That's what I'm
Because
doing.
yeah. Okay. Well, God bless you in that, and give me a website or something where those of us who are supporting this idea can send you a couple of dollars.
So
Okay.
yeah,
All right.
once my name is on there, there's a few days that I have to wait. But once I put my name on there, I go do the application.
Okay.
I have to show ID.
All right.
I got to prove I'm a citizen,
Hey,
and
you got to prove you're a citizen
that's
to run for governor.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can be in Congress
It's a
and
new
not be
it's
a
a new
citizen. Didn't you know that?
it's a whole new thing. It's a whole new
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, but I had to go prove all the requirements, and then once I'm in there, they get to talk about it, and they will when they approve it, there's an approval period, and when it's approved, then I'm going to build a website and try to get the bank account and all that stuff set up, because it has to be separate from myself. It cannot
Yes,
be
I
something that
understand.
it has to be
Yeah,
something that I'm not making money off for myself.
I get
Uh,
it exactly. Okay.
yeah, so we're trying to do the right thing. We'll see. As I said, there's a 70% Democrats here in Washington State.
Yeah.
Here's
Yeah.
here's the sad part. If you have never been to Washington State, I'm going to tell you, Washington State, it's such a beautiful, beautiful state. We have all four seasons here. You can go
Mm-hmm.
up to the mountains and see some snow if you want to.
Yeah.
You can go and look at this, what's the emerald green rivers that we have in the mountains from the Cascades. I mean, you have lakes, we have the oceans, we have views, we got mountains, we got the Olympic Mountains. It is just amazing to be in Washington State, and when you see all the things that are being putting people's livelihoods at stake, and you most Republicans are leaving Washington State, and
Mm-hmm.
it makes you wonder, like, is there any reason to run for anything anymore, since Democrats have the state locked down. The biggest turnout we saw was in this last election, and we lost by 400,000 points. Now,
I don't know.
I would tell you this. I called, I feel they cheated on the election. I think there's fraud. But, they have this thing where DOJ has asked the Attorney General to release the voter rolls, and they don't want to do that. And we have found over a 500,000 votes that should have counted in the election, and there were. I mean, we're talking about 500,000. That's an election right there. I mean, the guy lost for like just over 400,000, and if we got over a 500,000 of votes that should have counted, that's I'm telling you, I want to run on transparency. If I promise you something, like I'll give you for example, hey Bernie, how are you, brother? Like I'll give you an example. If I promise, right, which I do want to do, I want to go and do immigration reform. I want all illegal immigrants out of this country. No questions about it. I want to get rid of sanctuary cities. But at the same time, there's a lot of DACA document holders, people that have had TPS for a long time.
Right.
I want to check their criminal backgrounds. And if they got nothing on criminal,
Right.
I want them to get papers. And I want to have a great relationship with the federal government because it is the federal government that grants residency and citizenships
Exactly.
to people. So I think that, you would think that any governor or senator that supports being a sanctuary city, you think that they would love to work with the federal government, but they do the opposite because I feel, I'm a legend here, that they are just so full of fraud, waste, and abuse that they just don't want to have that relationship. They don't want to be transparent.
Right.
The governor that we have right now, he's just passing an income state tax, which we never had because it's unconstitutional here in Washington State. They're about to get sued for it anyway. But still, they are bypassing the voters. They're trying to remove sheriffs because they don't stand for their shit, and they want to be able to put whatever sheriff they want. They don't want the people to choose anymore. Can you believe that? That is so unconstitutional.
They're just revolutionaries. They're like South Carolina in 1860 because they're trying to. Well, a sheriff is a constitutional office. That's the highest legal authority in every county, and that's a constitutional office. And the fact that they just want to replace them with liberal who let everybody out of jail is proof that they just don't care about American citizens, but don't put it to them. Now, I want to encourage you, Mr. Herrera. I think that you should think of yourself like Abraham Lincoln. He ran for 6 or 7 offices and won 1 2-year term in the House of Representatives, and next he became president. So losing and making a point is not necessarily defeat.
I like that. Yeah, I'll take your word for that. What was your name? I'm sorry.
I'm Bill.
Bill.
Yeah.
Bill, thank you for your words and thank you for trying to look out for your state. I think every person that feels that things are not going on right in their state, in their city. My mother gave me this advice, and this is what you just gave me. I don't know if I will ever compare to Abraham Lincoln, but I think the model of the work is what I'll be compared to. But the person I think so great of our past presidents. My mother said that if I wanted to change something in government, I need to run for office. If I'm just going to whine and scream and complain, that will get nothing done. And if you don't find people that you can support to get the job done, then you put yourself out there and get it done. I tell you, my mother, she's so loving, but she was. It's weird to explain to people that haven't experienced this. And I think somebody was laughing in the chat. Maritza, I think it was her name. That I'm old school, because I have old beliefs and models. But my mother was the toughest female I have ever met in my life. And I don't think any of us men can do what my mother did to raise 5 kids on her own, old school style. I'm talking about this is in a third world country in Honduras where there is no washer and dryer. You got to wash the jeans by hand. I mean, it's tremendous, and to come here in the States, it's like, it's so hard for us, but imagine doing everything manual without the technology that we have today. It's an amazing thing to witness.
Well, Mr. Herrera, they should elect you governor in your state if for no other reason that you honored your mother that way.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it, Bill. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for calling.
You got my number there?
Yes, sir.
I don't know how often you're on, but I'd entertain a call back when you're not getting any calls. I've enjoyed our conversation.
Okay, yeah, well, we should definitely talk on the phone again and make it
Okay.
some sort of interview or something.
Alrighty.
Thank you,
God
Mr.
bless
Bill.
you.
God bless you and your family. Take care. All right, thank you, Bill, for calling. That is awesome. It's good to know. It is good to know. Let's see, Victorville. No, he said Vegas. Mr. Bill. I'm going to call you Mr. Bill, okay? And we'll put you here from Las Vegas. That is awesome. I like that. I like to know that that we have more patriots out there that wanna stand up. If you were trying to call me there from Victoria, just go ahead and call me back, okay? Let me hear from you guys. I really want to have guys. Forget about the insults. So right now, I want to put aside all the jokes. I am a big jokester, and I tell you guys all the time, I am a jokester when I want to be a jokester, but when we have to be serious, I want to be serious. If you want to call in, and have a conversation, we can. I will try to limit that to 5 minutes. If you didn't know, I am a naturalized American citizen. You may have heard that there is talks going out, and I don't blame them. I don't blame them. But there is a misconception that only birthright American citizens, let's see, American citizens born in America, born American citizens are the only ones that should be in Congress, or serve in the government. And I'm going to tell you that will be a mistake. I will actually tell you that people who are foreigners, I know that we have Ilhan and Talib Rashid, and we got all this garbage in Congress. I get it. We got some of those over here in Washington State as well. But I'm going to tell you, the only reason we have failed to have good migrants representing the American people is because we have become too soft. We have allowed the victimhood mentality to make us feel bad. Well, I tell you what, I am on the minority card. There is nothing that they can make me feel bad because I fit all the cards that they have on the victimhood card. And I don't believe I'm a victim. But I believe that if you love this country, if you love the people in it, if you like being selfless because it brings you joy to help others, you should be running for government. If you are selfish, if you think that you are the only good thing that's ever happened on this earth, I think you have the wrong mentality and you should be alone for the rest of your life. But I really do believe that anybody that wants to really, really help the people should definitely run for office, Congress, Senate, etc. And you know what, Mr. Bill has mentioned something that I've heard before as well, that if I don't get into be governor, to at least let my message be out there and try to run for other positions in government. And who knows, I think there was a caller that recommended, he thought I was running for Congress. He recommended to go to Congress, but, there is that. Let's see. Anybody, who was it that one? If you were calling from Victoria, you want me to call you back, I can. As you guys hear the message in there, no block calls, please. I'm not going to call you unless you tell me. I don't save the phone numbers unless you tell me to save your phone number so that we can have conversations again. I hope that when we're on my show here, most likely in the afternoons, that at nighttime, I like to take in phone calls. So this is your chance before I get more into what's going on here in Washington State. Running for mayor. Yeah, I'm going to tell you, man, after the person that won the mayor race here in Washington State, so very unqualified on many levels, I don't know how she got elected. All I can tell you is that the last mayor that we had in Seattle, Washington, was horrible. Not that he was. I don't believe that he was such a bad person. I just think that he was a little bit too soft on crime, and I believe that he was more towards illegal immigrants, okay, than American citizens. That's my biggest thing. That is my biggest thing. I want you to know something. Nobody is going to fight more. I know this sounds controversial to what I know, but I can tell you this. Nobody's going to fight more for the Latin community than a Latin person. That's me. But it has to be the right people. We can't just tell everybody, hey, don't worry about it. You just come here illegally and hold on long enough and we'll get you papers. No, that's not going to happen. We're going to get rid of sanctuary cities. If we get in office, the next president that starts deporting people, they will have full access to Washington State. And that might just be a reason enough for people not to want to vote for me. But I can guarantee you that they will not be doing what they're doing right now. As governor, I will be present. And I will be on top of all these issues that are going on with ICE. The difference is I'm going to be the opposite of Minnesota. My police department, all of my National Guard, everybody will be at the disposal of federal government because I want to be able to get rid of people that I don't have time to get rid of. But I will make it clear that anything that goes through has to go through me first. And this is how you build a relationship. This is how you work with the federal government. You have to understand something. The American Constitution, the Constitution of the United States of America, supersedes any constitution of any state. This is something that every single state has agreed in the Constitution to allow federal government to control anything immigration. Okay? And it's simple. It's that simple. So if you have illegal immigrants in here that have been arrested, DUIs, let me give you an example. There is an illegal immigrant that I believe he's still out in the loose. He was a repeated offender, illegal immigrant, repeated offender, have been released from jail multiple times, a couple of DUIs, was driving. They say the speed that he was driving at was over 100 miles an hour. And there happened to be a state trooper that pulled somebody over. This illegal immigrant with a record, with a DUI record and criminal activities in his record, was released by the incompetent mayor that just got beat by this other incompetent mayor. And he killed him. He killed the state patrol. He went to jail. Can you believe it? He got released. How? How does that happen? He shouldn't be released at all. He should be in jail. But it happens. And I know that the people on the left, there's a lot of great Democrat people out there. I'm telling you right now. I know that there's a lot of crazy Democrats out there because they're just crazy. They have mental problems. And there's a lot of people out there that have been lied to for a very long time. You have to understand, Democrats have been in power here in Washington State for decades. It's no joke. These people have this state on lockdown. They have learned how to cheat. Not too long ago, there was a lot of Washingtonians saying F.J. Inslee. You guys may have heard about this. F.J. Inslee. And it doesn't matter what he did wrong or anybody in Congress or anybody else, nothing got done. They got away with it just like the Democrats get away with it right now. All these congressmen that are hiding all the sexual harassment suits right now, they get away with it. And there's nothing that anybody can do about it. So there is that. I'm going to say this. Some of the people that you may not like on the left, they're actually fighting for some things that they should be fighting for. And, you will think I will never support or vote in the same manner as AOC or any Tlaib, Rashid because of their craziness, right? But if they are voting for something that is for Americans and it is just and it's fair, listen, you can't just say, no, I'm not going to vote with them because I don't like it. Hey, if it's the right thing to do, you do it. And see, many people don't think that way. Many people think, oh, I don't like that person, so I'm going to vote the opposite. It doesn't matter what it is. I'm just going to vote the opposite. You cannot think that you're helping your country that way. So I got to say it like I see it, right? So here in Washington, the sad part, and I already mentioned this while he was on here, it seems like we've had about the same amount of representatives on the Republican side, on the Democratic side, but, nobody is really bringing in the points that people care about. And I can tell you this, and the leftists can go ahead and laugh and say whatever, liar, liar, pants on fire. That's okay. But I'm going to tell you, it shows that, let me see, let me open this group here real quick. Look at this. Based on analysis of voter registration data and migration trends, Republicans are leaving Washington state at a higher rate than Democrats. Democrats are leaving too. But what I want to say is please don't leave yet. I understand. I really can't stop them. I really can't stop them. But we got to be able to fight. And if you guys leave, then what do we do? How do we fight? If all the good people leave, what do we fight? What do we have to fight? Washington State, you guys already know. If you live in Washington, if you're a Democrat, Republican, listen, even if you don't like my jokes, even if you don't like the way I talk or whatever, you have to recognize that if we don't do something to change the course in which things are, in the way that things are headed, we're going to lose Washington completely. And it's very sad. And, who knows what's going to happen. I can't tell what the future brings, for Washington. But, if all businesses leave, how are the socialists going to make money? How are the socialists going to make money? Here we go. I like it when people call me low IQ. Here we go. Jeffrey says, you fight your low IQ. Yeah, okay. Jeffrey, why don't you go ahead and give me a call? There's the phone number right above me. Right there. There's the phone number. Why don't you give me a call and try to give me a plan that would help me save Washington State. Tell me how I can fix the economy here in Washington State. There's the phone number. Nice and bright. Give me a call. Jeffrey Madland. Hopefully you're old enough to be in my channel. More Republicans are leaving Washington than moving into it, frequently relocated to states with conservative red political environments. I wonder why that is. A trend noted in recent years. While the state has a high cost of living that drives general outmigration, these affected conservatives are specifically cited as leaving due to the state's deep blue political landscape. It's like fighting a monopoly. Yeah, the Zengrofer, why don't you call? Go ahead and give me something that will help the economy. And once we take care of the economy, I think we might have some common sense going in and out. But why don't you go ahead and call me and tell me how we can fix the economy? Since you like to come in and you want to be negative about everything, I want to know what your solutions are so that we can work together and make it happen. Right? Ross says, it's great. on the Rockstars Red State. Terry, go ahead. Give me a call, Terry. Terry Williams says, I'm talking about nothing. Go ahead. Give me something to talk about. There's a phone number right there. Don't be afraid. You can call me. You can go ahead and tell me, hey, Bill, how are you? Good to have you there, Bill. I got another Bill here that just came in and gave me a call, and he is also tired of all the things that are going on in his state, and is also thinking about running for government in Vegas. That will be nice. That will be nice to see. Yeah, babe. What? That's all I have. I don't know what the other ones are. Come on, guys. I don't... Look, nothing. Make sure you got the right number. Terry, give me a call. All right, come on, guys. This is your moment to give me some information. There we go. Is this you, Terry? Let's take a look. Is this Terry? Thank you for calling. Who's calling?
You better believe it. I'm
Terry?
calling.
All right, Terry.
I'm calling.
So,
Come
go
on,
ahead.
brother. You know I'm not gonna run from
I don't
you.
know, man.
Right.
People be saying I'm going to call and they never call.
No,
And
no.
all right, so we're talking about
this.
here. We're
Yeah,
talking about
right.
economy, right? We're talking about economy. Tell me how we can fix Washington State's economy.
Oh, it's so simple.
Okay.
And people don't understand. One, most people buy on impulse. Nobody buy for necessities. Everybody buy on impulse. If we start buying on necessities, guess what we'll stop doing? Wasteful spending.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of times
Mm-hmm.
we spend just on nothing.
I
And
agree.
then guess what? We go into the pantry and we still got stuff that we bought 2 years ago. And then you're like, oh
Yeah.
my God.
That's true.
Why did I buy that?
Yeah, I agree.
But it's impulse. But see, guess what? We become hoarders. I don't want to share anything with other Americans.
Yeah, I see
Can I
it.
tell you this? Can I tell you this? And people don't understand this. Do you know China don't have this problem? You know Japan don't have this problem. Do you know one reason why?
They block the media.
No. No.
Why is that?
No. Homogenous people. You might. What the hell I mean by
Yeah,
homogenous
yeah.
people?
Well, they have no choice.
It's one. No.
Yeah,
It's
because
one
they're
race of
overpopulated. That's
people.
why.
No. It's one race of people that they don't have to compete with. America, guess who you got to compete with? You got to compete with a Hispanic. You got to compete with a black man. You got to compete with so many races of people. People are so territorial. Everybody, I don't want the other person to have.
Yeah.
Instead of looking at the other individual as being like, what American?
Yeah.
Guess what we'll do? We'll be more successful. But I'm coming to the conclusion that I don't want to see that other person. But you're American. We all supposed to be Americans. But guess what? We'll glee, jump up, and holler, hallelujah when our team win the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
When the U.S. win the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, the Summer Olympics, all this other kind of stuff. But when all that's over with, when you have to live your normal life, oh, I don't like that guy. I hate him.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Because sometimes we have to look at ourselves and say, what am I contributing to America? If you're not contributing anything, man, don't bitch about it.
Yeah.
Don't get mad about it.
Yeah.
We're serious, bro. We need to come together. And I know it's hard. The reason why it's so hard is because guess what? We're not homogenous people.
Yeah.
Everybody is territorial. I want my kid. And then guess what? You start teaching your kids to be selfish, hateful, resentful toward other people. And guess what? They have to live just like you do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. I when I shop, I always say this. If I have money, and and I want to get myself some extra pleasure, like a nice vacation, and go to places where I probably will never be afford. I can do that, or I can save the money since I don't have that money all the time.
Right.
And I just like, for me, I mean, if I go to, like, for example, if I go to Honduras, okay, and
Right.
I know that if I'm going to go to work, like if I'm going to go to church, I'm going to take a couple of suits maybe, right? But most of the
Right.
time, and I'm sure that you'll be the same way. Me and you will probably have some cargo shorts, t-shirt, and some sandals, and that's what we
Right.
will wear every single day. And we just, I mean,
Right.
you know what I'm saying? So we're okay with that. But then you have, and I see this a lot in our Hispanic community, especially back in my country. When we
Right.
travel somewhere here, man, me and you, we just put some shorts and a t-shirt. In
Right.
Honduras, these people be dressing up like they're going to Sunday church, and they're
Right.
just flying from Miami to Honduras. Some people still have that mentality, and some people just live beyond their
Above
means.
their means.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
We say
yeah,
that at the same
yeah.
time.
Well, that's
And the
because you think
reason
it
why
with common
most people,
sense.
well, the reason why most people live above their means because they want to portray an image of what?
Yeah, yeah,
I'm more than you.
yeah.
Instead of accepting the condition of what they are.
Okay, so
They're,
now,
how can we fix the economy? Easy.
yeah,
Again, part of it is, like you say, living within your means, living towards your means. And then guess what? A lot of people say, oh man, I don't want to give toward other people. If we start giving toward other people, guess what? Giving gives back. People don't understand that. Giving gives back. But a lot of times,
sometimes.
I swear to God, it will always come back. It don't come back when you expect it to come back. But it will
No, so
always come back.
I'm gonna put an obstacle for you. Okay, you ready
Go
for
ahead.
this? We
I'm
have a ring, right? Ring is endless, right? A ring will go around. This is you. This is your mentality, and this mentality I agree with. I agree. It goes back. It comes back. Now, the reason why I say sometimes is because the government, what they do is they come and put a wedge in to break that ring. And so what happens is that you and I, we're working our butts off, we're working overtime, we're saving money, we're just getting what we need, but we're seeing money because, we're working hard and everything. But the problem is that the government finds a way to take that money from you, even if you are living by, just below your means, because you have and you're able to afford this, they will tax you more because they think that you have too much. And it's,
Can I just make one historical fact?
yeah, go ahead.
The government was not for the poor.
Yeah,
It was for the rich.
yeah,
Since the inception of the Constitution, the government was not made for normal people at all. It was made for the rich. And guess what? Government for the rich, by the rich. So they basically make their own rules. So if they say, well, taxation without representation, right?
right, right.
But if you don't represent, guess what? You still got to pay taxes.
That's right. That's
You
right.
still got to pay
Yeah,
taxes,
yeah.
but you have no representation.
Yeah.
So if you have that individual that makes $15-20 million a year, he can make changes more than a person who makes $50,000 a year, or
Yeah.
a whole community that makes $50,000
Yeah.
a year, because he can make changes. He can say, I want this rule to benefit me and my family.
Yeah,
And guess what? There are people, the government is not for poor, it's for the rich.
in a,
The
in a,
rich
in
are
a,
gonna
in a
stay
way.
rich.
Well, here's the thing that I have to do, right? So I see that what you're saying, I see that. And people can make fun of me all they want, but this is why I'm running for governor, right? Because I feel that
You need to run it.
yeah, this is like this is just my own
Mindset. Your own mindset.
yeah, I don't want to call it my own mindset, but what I feel is it's common sense to what the government should do. Like, for example, when migrant comes to this country, what do they come here
Right.
for? Success, money. They
No,
want to be
no.
better. They
come
want
for
to.
opportunity.
Sure.
They
Yeah,
come
yeah,
for
yeah. Yeah. But
opportunity.
you come
That's
for opportunity
that's
for
the
what?
first thing.
Yeah, but
They
for
don't come for success.
no, but okay,
Because
but opportunity for what? To make money? Because
Well,
money does what?
they come they come for opportunities because a lot of people I've known immigrants, right?
Yeah.
And they came across and they said, we just want a fair chance because the cartels are not giving us opportunities. Either is you do this for us or we'll kill you.
Yeah.
Because the cartel have their families working in government.
Yeah. And you think those people
They have
should
their family
support?
work.
You think those people should support America, or still come and raise the Mexican flag?
Now I'm gonna say this
Straight
Hold
up.
on.
Straight up. Come on.
I'm gonna answer that question.
Okay.
When we go to different countries,
Mm-hmm.
do we wear our USA flags and all this other kind of stuff? Be honest.
I don't.
Be honest.
I don't.
But hold on. I've been to Bahamas. I've been to Jamaica. I've been to I've been to France. I've been all over this continent.
Yeah.
And guess what?
Yeah.
There are people that will have USA this, USA that.
Yeah.
I come from the USA. They have USA bandanas,
Yeah.
all that stuff.
Well, people in those countries also have that stuff. But
You
why
don't
do
give up.
why do you think
You
it's
don't give up your nationality. You don't give up your
no,
nationality.
I get it. But what do you think the difference is? Think about it.
Difference.
What is the
listening.
difference? Okay, what is the difference between Americans going to Honduras and Hondurans coming to the United States of America illegally? What do you think the difference is between the two?
Well, one, you said a mouthful. One is illegal. One is on vacation.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Yeah. So if you're here,
here's-
so my question was this. Think about it. My question was this, Terrence. I said, should they that are here breaking the law, being here illegally, should they keep waving the Mexican flag? That's what I said. Now,
If they're
remember
breaking the
this.
law?
Yeah, well, if they
Go
come
ahead.
here illegally, they already are. But what I'm saying is this. Okay, if you come from, you mentioned Mexico, right? So if you come from Mexico, the cartels are
How
bad.
about you come? How about this? You come from Ukraine, right?
Well, I come from Honduras. That's a real story. Okay,
My best buddy come from.
so
my
watch
best
this.
Buddy come from Costa Rica.
Okay, so watch this. I'm gonna use myself an example. Okay, I love Honduras. Okay, some people don't believe me, but I love Honduras. I wish I can live there, take my family and all this stuff. My family is all American. Okay, if I get a chance to go to Honduras, I most likely will go to Honduras. But there's another place that we're gonna go with the wife. But here's the thing: I come here to this country, right? Legally.
Right.
I am respecting the oath that I made to Honduras since I was a kid, and I come here and I love the United States of America. I respect the United States of America. I love the American flag behind me, as you can see. Just so you know, the one on the left is going to turn into a Honduran flag pretty soon. But I come here and I'm not on welfare. I'm not here illegally. I am here in vacation, or I'm here as a migrant that comes to work or whatever. I am wearing my Honduras outfit in the United States of America, and
There you go.
and so this is the difference.
But that does not necessarily mean you hate America because you were Honduran.
That's right. I'm trying to
were
make a
the- you were the
distinction.
Honduras.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm trying to make a
But
distinction for you. The difference is this. The difference
I'm
is this:
listening.
that the
I'm listening.
people that are against the United States of America are here, waving the country's flag where they come from. That, my friend, is a sign of invasion and disrespect to the country that you're visiting. And that's the difference between illegal immigrants that come here. And you will notice this. You will probably see some illegal immigrants waving the American flag because they really believe that this is the land of opportunity and hope. But then there's the others, like we saw in LA, right? They're burning and spitting and peeing on the American flag and raising the Mexican flag. That I have a problem with. So when Americans go to other countries, they're bringing money. They're not taking money. They're bringing money. They're actually helping the economy, and they're not there to stick around. They're there to have a good time, to be tourists, strengthen the economy, and then they come back to the country to the United States of America. And I will tell you this: every person, at least I'm talking about Honduras experience here, every person that has an American tourist in Honduras, every Honduran loves that American tourist because they're helping the economy. They know. I mean, the
Right.
good people are. There's always bad people, but the good
But
people
hold
are
on.
always
But
appreciating that.
inversely, wait a minute. I just want to intercede just one thing.
Yeah.
Inversely, do you know immigrants? I don't call them illegal. I just call them immigrants.
No, no, no.
And,
Call
and
it for status. No, not all immigrants are equal.
No.
Uh,
People.
yeah, no, no,
I'ma
no.
say
But
this.
there's
No,
borders.
I'm
There's
gonna
borders.
say this. People are people,
That's
and
not
I'll
what
tell
we
you why
believe
I
in
say that.
Honduras. We have
No, no, no,
deported
no.
a lot of people from Honduras. Mexico deports everybody. No, call it like it is. Illegal
Right.
immigrants or a legal immigrant. Not all immigrants are the
Right.
same.
Well, but I'm saying is people are people because
Sure.
when you start when you start putting moniker on people, when you start basically, oh, you are illegal, that's what you start doing. You start dehumanizing that
But it's
individual.
true. If it's true, it's
No,
true.
You cannot ever dehumanize. Wait a minute.
That's
They
not
are a
dehumanizing.
human being.
So
They are-
what?
so wait a minute. If
So
you
hold
tell a
on.
person,
Okay. So
you're illegal. Wait
Yeah.
a minute.
Yeah.
Look at the word illegal.
yeah,
Illegal means what?
you have no permission to be here.
You're not fit.
Yes, that is correct.
You're not fit to be.
Yes,
You're not fit to be.
You're an
If
alien.
You're illegal. You are not fit. You're exactly.
you're an alien to this land.
You're an outcast.
Correct.
You're an outlier.
Yes.
And if you're an outcast and an outlier,
Yes.
that's what you are. You will automatically dehumanize it.
Okay, so what do you do to
Why
what do you do to
don't-
criminals here in America? American
No,
citizens
we
that are criminals.
educate-
What do we do?
No,
We
I
put their
never-
ass in
no,
jail.
no.
We put them in prison. You know what we do to illegal immigrants? We send them back to their homeland. That's not putting them in prison. They're free. They're not being put in prison. But American citizens, when
are.
they break the law, they spend their time in jail. That is the
Because
difference.
Guess what? Because legal citizens
Yeah.
know law.
Law-abiding
Legal
citizen.
law in the there you go. They know.
Yeah.
that
And
if
what
you
about the
do
criminals
this
that are
here-
Americans?
Well, the criminals. That's my point.
Okay. Well,
Criminals,
you think illegal immigrant? Are you born here or are you a migrant?
No, I was born here.
Yeah, that's
I'm
why you
born
don't
in
know.
Dallas, Texas.
That's why you don't know, man. I'm telling you, as
What?
migrants,
No,
they
no,
talk
no,
about
no.
this
Tell me.
all the time. They talk about it all the time. They talk about coming here pregnant to make anchor babies. They talk about they don't give a
Right.
crap about the law. They know the law. They just don't care about it.
Right.
So that's not
Yeah,
dehumanizing
okay,
them.
okay, wait,
Listen, wait. If my child misbehaves, I'm going to whoop their ass.
Hold on. Can I say one thing? So a man shoots another man.
We're not shooting them.
No, wait a minute. No. If another man shoots another man, does he know he's actually committing a crime?
Yes.
or no?
Yes.
Hell yeah, he knows. You know why he
So
knows?
what's the point?
Because he knows the law. But guess what? He breaks the law anyway.
But oh my God.
Right?
No. Don't use that. That's not
You
logical.
have to use it.
No,
You can't
because it's
say,
illogical.
What is it?
Listen,
How,
listen.
How is it illegal? Wait a minute. How is it illogical that an immigrant knows I'm going to break the law, but I want the best for my child? I want the best for. I might not be the best for them, but the United States might be able to give them something better than a man who knows I'm going to commit murder to another man, or I'm going to rob a store. I'm going to do something illegal, and he knows better, which he could already change. That's why we wake up every day. We wake up every day to change what was wrong every day.
Okay.
And if every day we look at negativity, guess what's going to happen? We're going to be negative every day.
Yeah, but the logic on the example you're giving
if
me,
you de-
you're making
but if you
excuse. No, wait, you're
dehumanize-
making
Go ahead.
excuses. Listen, you're
No,
making
I will never make
excuses. No, you
excuses.
are.
I
You're
will never
making
make
excuses for the
What
ignorant.
excuse am I making?
You're making
No,
excuses
I
for the
make- no.
ignorant.
I'm not making excuses.
Yes,
for
you are.
immigrants
You just
who
mentioned
wants the
if I
best for
shoot somebody,
themselves.
you said if I shoot somebody, would I know
Yes.
that it's illegal? No, well, it depends. If I am robbing somebody, if I'm just shooting somebody just to kill and commit murder, that is illegal.
Right.
If I shoot somebody in
Right.
self-defense, it's legit. I am legally, as a law-abiding
But if you're
citizen,
hungry,
I am
wait a minute.
legal to shoot somebody.
If you are hungry, sir, if you are hungry
No excuse.
and you have nothing to eat,
You don't
so
steal.
You're just going to say, oh, well, and wait a minute.
Yes.
There's an opportunity.
Nope.
Wait a minute.
Nope.
So there's an opportunity
No.
for me to work somewhere in the United States. And guess what? Why are we not charging the people that are hiring the illegals?
I believe in that as well. That both of them should be held
We don't
accountable.
do it. You know why? Because it's Amazon, it's Hilton hotels. You can keep going on and on. Why are we not?
That doesn't mean.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Wait, but that doesn't mean that we're gonna. That doesn't mean that we're gonna allow it to continue. That doesn't mean anything. What makes you think that because somebody's breaking?
If we allow it, sir, if we allow it,
We're not allowing it. We're fighting for it. What are you talking about? We're allowing it. If we allow it, I'll just sit back and watch. I'm not allowing it.
Who's working? All right, wait a minute. Do illegals come over here and say, "Oh, we're going to get on the system"? Because if
Yes.
so, that's against the law.
Yes.
That's a federal law.
Yes.
They cannot get any subsidies.
It is
sir.
also
They
a
cannot
federal
fly.
law that you cannot come into
wanna
this
look it up?
country
You wanna look
illegally.
it up? That's illegal.
I
The
know.
government cannot give any subsidies.
I know, but they do.
Do you know how illegals survive? I know how they survive. You know how they survive? They have 10 in a house. I know you know this. And then one illegal, everybody contributes to one house. And then once that person moves out of the house, another person moves in.
Brother,
and
you're
one
you're
person moves
fighting.
out.
Look, somebody put on the chat. You're fighting a class, but they're not Americans. There is a big difference between people in Honduras that are hungry, that want to go and make ends meet. That doesn't mean you go into the neighbor's yard and steal their food. You know what my mother taught me when I was a kid? She taught me that if I was hungry and somebody was eating, you don't beg. You walk away. If you're hungry, you don't beg for food. You tighten your belt. That's what my mother said. You're not going to go steal because you're desperate for food. She said you should rather die hungry than to go be a criminal. Well, you just defended them.
Hold on. But let's go with that terminology.
But wait. But we're talking about the economy. Why are you bringing illegal immigration? Now you're making me talk about immigration.
No, because illegal immigrants help the economy. Because guess what?
They
pay
don't
no
help as
income
much as you
tax.
think. They don't.
Sir, they don't pay income tax.
Yeah, no
They
shit. That
receive
doesn't
no
help
income
us.
tax.
They don't help us.
Sir,
They're
do you
taking
know
jobs
that
from
there
other
is
people.
15 Okay,
21
now,
million
wait a minute,
illegal
what
immigrants
people-
have taken
hold on,
jobs
what
from
people-
21 million Americans.
I'm gonna
Now
laugh
what?
about that one.
Yeah,
people-
but that's all you got to
people-
say.
No. I'm going to answer the question.
No, man, you're wrong.
What people, if they don't have a job, why are they on government subsidy? I'll wait. If those people really want to work, why are they on government subsidy?
Well, you should be able to
But
talk
you got
about it.
illegal immigrants that will
Hey,
to work,
listen,
and
that
they don't have. But guess what?
you know what?
When-
I
listen.
wish that I can get rid of all the libtards and keep the illegal immigrants here. I wish I can switch them, but we can't. You have to understand something. They are entitled. It doesn't matter if they're lazy. They are Americans. That doesn't mean that we're going to get illegal immigrants here to replace the community.
Wait. Now, hold on. Let's get this right. So if your yard is 10 feet high and I can get a guy to do it for $10 and he's willing to do it for $10 and he's an immigrant, but I got an American guy that says, I don't want to do that. I'd rather go rob somebody. What would you rather have?
Well, if I know he's illegal, I'm definitely not hiring him.
Shit, yeah, you are, because they do it all the time.
Hey, listen, again.
Because there are American
Again.
people that do not want to work.
But look,
they
man,
wanna live off the
You're
check, bro.
you're making excuses for criminals.
I'm not making no excuses.
Everything
I'm
you
telling
said is an
facts.
excuse for criminals.
Oh my God! Now hold on. You know what I noticed about y'all Republicans? Y'all always change the narrative. Let's stay
No,
back
there's
on
no
the-
narrative change. I'm a
Let's stay
migrant.
there.
You're not a
It
migrant.
is.
I'm a migrant. Listen,
What
I'm a
have I
migrant.
said about
in-
anything about crime?
I
said
am
that
a-
There are people that are not wanting to work, and they would rather rob, steal, kill just to eat. And if not, they'll rather live on Section 8. They'll rather get food stamps. They'd rather do all this instead of going to work.
See, that's
guess
an
what?
excuse.
There are immigrants that will say, you know what? I'll do those
Nope,
jobs
they don't get to be here
50%
illegally.
less.
Nope, they don't get to have any say on it. We will deal with
Then
that.
why are they being hired?
Then we will deal with it. We have to deal with it.
How are we dealing with it?
Again,
Honestly?
that's what I said. I'm running for governor. That's how I
Okay,
deal with it.
So when you run for governor,
Yeah.
how are you going to alleviate immigrants. I'll wait.
I'm going to deport every single illegal immigrant out of this state. And we're going to get rid of sanctuary cities.
So when you deport them,
Yeah.
then, hold on, and then your economy
What?
start going down.
Why?
What do you do?
Why is my economy? Wait, why is my economy going down? Let's go ahead and talk about this.
Because guess what? They are consumers.
Oh,
They
but they're
buy.
also people taking resources.
So now we're going back to the economy. Now you're taking away people that are willing to buy and put money into the economy. I don't want those. I don't want their money. I want people that don't want to work money. So now you got to pay for what? You got to pay for SNAP. You got to pay for Section 8.
No, we don't.
Come on, man.
No,
You cannot
no. So you're
listening.
so you want to take advantage of the illegal immigrants, is what you're saying?
I don't want it. No. I want the Americans to get off
They
their
get no
ass
benefit.
and go to work.
No, with no benefit. That's a slavery.
Huh?
That's slavery.
What's slavery?
Yeah, you don't know what slavery
Wait a minute.
is?
Slavery is when you're not getting paid for your work.
Well, slaves used to
That's
get paid.
slavery.
Slaves used to
They're
get paid.
They're getting paid for whatever they're going to do.
I don't think you know
Slavery,
history, my
you do
friend.
not get paid for it.
Yes, you do.
Look it up.
You do. You should look it up.
How
I
much
know.
you get paid for
I
being a
look.
slave?
You know,
I'll wait.
they work so they can buy their freedom.
So if that's the case, then why black folks haven't got reparations?
Because they don't deserve reparations. Not all white people here were
my
slave
God.
owners. As a matter of fact, one of the wealthiest
It's not the
slave
fact
owner
they-
was a black man.
Sir, they benefited from it.
So did black people. Who brought the black
Okay,
slaves into
please tell me,
slavery?
how did black folks benefit from slavery?
Well, look
Please
him up.
tell me.
Look him up. One of the wealthiest men that owned slaves was a black man, Andrew Jackson.
No, it was not.
Oh man, you got to go learn some
Oh, my
history.
God,
Okay,
no.
if you don't know that part,
Where do y'all get
I
that
think you're
from?
just making excuses for criminals.
No, man, you trying
Here.
to flip the script.
All right, here we go. This
Don't
is
do
what
that.
I think.
Don't do that.
No, you're arguing for criminality. I don't.
I'm not.
Let me
listen,
tell you
I don't wanna
something.
argue with
Let me
I don't
tell you
argue with
something.
men.
See, this is why you were too excited to call in, but you don't listen. Listen. You have to listen.
I'm listening.
Economy was just fine before 21 million illegal immigrants came into this country. If they give away
the
their
president
jobs,
then?
here's a couple of
Who's the
things.
president then?
Hey, listen, sir. Listen.
Can I just ask
Terrence,
a question?
Terrence,
Who's the president?
Terrence, Biden, Terrence, listen. You gotta listen, man.
I'm
listen.
listening.
Too many migrants in this country take housing. What does housing do when you have a lot of demand with short supply? Prices go up, affordability goes up. You cannot afford housing when you have too many people in a place. When
Sir,
you're taking
that's all
jobs, well,
supply and
no,
demand.
wait,
If you
let me
have too
finish.
many-
Let me
sir, if you
finish.
have too many
Let me
people in the
finish.
house,
Let
that
me
means your
finish.
supply
Let me
is
finish.
adequate.
Let me finish, man. Just let me finish my point. I'm giving you a lot of chance to talk. Okay, I had a limit of 5 minutes.
But go ahead.
Okay,
Go
what?
ahead.
Yeah, just don't talk over me.
I said,
You
go ahead.
have 10 people living in an apartment. You said this. When apartment communities get filled up past 90%, this is when they raise their rent. Now, every person, every law-abiding American or person that's in here legally, they know that for every apartment, if it's a one-bedroom, you can have 2 people per room and 1 in the living room. Total of 3. That one-bedroom apartment costs $1,200. It's very expensive. People can't afford it. But as long as you have illegal immigrants and people that live in a house with 10 people, they will always be able to afford $1,200. So what does that do? Their manager goes in and raises it to $1,500. Guess what? 12 people can still afford $1,500. But that one couple with the kid, they can no longer afford it. And guess what? They're still paying $1,500. They're still at 90% occupancy. So they're going to raise it to $2,000 a month for a one-bedroom. Guess what? 10 people can still pay that $2,000 a month for a one-bedroom. But the one couple with a child is homeless. That is a problem with illegal immigration. When you have illegal immigrants taking businesses because they have no permission to work, they go and get a permission from the IRS to do their own businesses. So what do? They do Pepe's painting. They do Pedro's landscaping. They do all these other businesses that you think that Americans don't want to do. But the reason why Americans don't do it is because it's not available for them to do. And the reason why they don't want to do it is because it's so damn cheap. And the reason why it's cheap is because they allow illegal immigrants to do it for less than nothing. Americans Americans have to be responsible. They have to provide benefits for every job that they provide. For every employee, they got to have an unemployment payment. They have to pay an LNI. They have to pay a BO tax. They have to pay a payroll tax. They got to pay taxes on everything that they have when they have the legal people working for them. If you allow illegal immigrants, to work there without papers, number one, most of the money that these 10 people do in the one apartment, most of those remittances go back to the country where they came from, to the families that they went through. And the only thing that they do is nothing for the economy. On top of that, they come over here and have babies. They have babies, anchor babies. They're illegal, but the baby qualifies for benefits. Guess what? Now they got food stamps. Now they got some free health care. Now they got housing. And they're still living 10 people in one apartment. Sir, they're not supposed to. That's the point. That is the point. You don't get it. You don't get it. No, I'm not done.
How can they get housing?
That's a good question.
How can they get housing and pay $2,000 a month?
They're not supposed to, but they are, sir.
No.
Look,
Sir,
Cutting Edge is also, listen, Cutting Edge is a migrant. Cutting Edge is a migrant.
housing and pay $2,000.
God damn.
Sir, that don't even make no sense.
No shit, Sherlock. It doesn't make sense, but that's why we're arguing.
Exactly.
Because they do it.
Because it doesn't happen. That's
Okay,
why it don't make
you're
sense.
blind and naive by choice. There's nothing I can do to help you.
How can I be blind and I'm telling you what the facts are?
You don't have
like
facts. You don't have facts.
Okay,
We
are
just
you ready
kicked
for
we
facts?
just kicked 100,000 illegal immigrants out of HUT.
Okay.
Let's shut the hell up then. Because that proves the fact that illegal immigrants are getting benefits, you moron.
They are,
Come
they
on,
are
man.
not getting no HUD, man.
Yeah, okay, all right, okay. Hey,
They're
man, listen,
not
Terrence.
getting no HUD,
Terrence,
bro.
you're a brick, bro. I'm not offending you.
you
I'm not.
can't remember.
No,
Sir,
you're a
sir.
brick. And a migrant loves this country more than you and respects the American people more than you do. You respect and defend criminals. I don't. If I own a gun, it's because I have the legal right to own a gun. If I shoot somebody, it's on self-defense, which is legal. You have defended people. You have defended illegal immigrants taking jobs from Americans, and your excuse is, oh, Americans don't want it.
Don't want to work 'em. Dude, I got a
You there,
company.
bro? Just because you don't want to do it.
I have to pay
Just because
for
you don't want to do it doesn't mean other people don't want to do it.
What do you mean?
Man.
Dude, I have a help wanted. And guess what? I don't have anybody. I try to have my friends to work. They don't want to work. I said, tell me what.
So
do I
you
need to
you
do
you find
to
somebody that
help
wants to
you?
work. Don't make excuses. Well, you don't want to do it. Shit, I'm gonna find some illegal immigrants. Hey, listen, if they don't want to do it, man, then you go and put another announcement. This is what you do.
No, I have to get things done.
So you're a slave driver. Bro,
I'm gonna hire a person
my friend, you support
that is
slavery.
That's qualified to do what I need to be done.
Okay,
If
tell
they're
me.
qualified,
When you hire an illegal immigrant, what do you pay them, and what do you give them?
I pay them wages that is supposed to be paid. If
Like
they're
what?
American.
Like what? And what else?
And then I pay them if they need help. I'll give
No.
health insurance.
Okay. Bullshit. Hell no, you don't.
I would give
I
them-
know you
sir,
don't. I
I
know
would
you
give-
don't.
sir,
There is
sir,
no
you
way.
told me what? Yes, sir, I don't look at people as illegal.
No,
I
you looked at
them
him as labor.
people.
You don't look at him as legal. You look at him as labor.
Sir, they pay bills.
Yeah.
They pay society. They get car notes.
Okay.
They get.
So let me ask you a question, genius. Let me ask you a question.
They go to grocery stores. They go to Ross. They go to TJ Maxx.
Yeah.
They put money. Back
Yeah.
They go to
So let me ask
McDonald's.
you.
No, they go to McDonald's.
Yeah,
They go to
yeah.
all the restaurants that you have.
And they're
So
making
tell
everything
me,
more
is that
expensive.
Is that not adding to the economy?
They're
Or
making
yes or no?
they're making everything more expensive.
Sir, is that not adding to the economy? That's a yes or a no.
No, it's not doing shit for the economy.
Okay.
Okay, now let me ask you a question. So you know, now I'm gonna show you what kind of American you are right now, and this is by your own words. So you know that Americans don't want to do the work, and you hire
Yes.
illegals. So
I
you
will hire
know,
either.
no.
didn't
You
even
said
listen. I
no.
said,
You
I will
said
hire a person
you
that is
said
qualified.
right.
I said, I will hire, and you
Right.
said, well, what if an illegal asks come to my job?
Well, how you
Guess
know?
what?
How do you?
First
My
thing
question is
I would
this.
ask
My
is,
question is
what
this.
is your status?
Exactly.
First thing I'm gonna do is
Would you
what is
ask
your
him?
status?
Are you legal or illegal? And what do you do when they say I'm illegal?
If they're illegal, they can't work with me.
Okay, there you go.
Because
Thank
they're
you.
illegal.
Okay, so
are illegal.
that's different than what you were saying earlier.
No, I'm saying this. I'm saying if there is an illegal person that is going through their immigration status, if they're going through status, they're still illegal, correct? But if they're going through status, that means guess what? They are legal to work.
Nope, unless they have a permission. Unless they have a permit to work. Don't be a fool. I know the laws.
What do you mean?
I know the laws on immigration.
Their status, they are legal.
Nope, they gotta have a social security.
Yes, sir.
No, the social security has a status that says not for work. It's under social security. When they receive the permission, that status gets removed from the social security, and that's how you know they're able to work. See, you're not a migrant, so you don't know. Oh, but if they come here illegally, that's okay?
Correct.
Listen, they're not supposed to be here. Temporary asylum, sir. Temporary. That means they got to go back.
If it's temporary, that means guess what? They got to work.
After 10 years, it's not temporary after 10 years.
Sir, if they're temporarily here and they have temporary status,
Again,
they have to eat.
they will have a
If not, they're
document.
guess
Bro,
what? If
you
they don't eat, guess
listen.
what they're gonna do?
You're
They're gonna knock somebody over
you're
the
just
head.
yelling,
They're
defending
going back to crime
criminality.
again.
You just said it. You wouldn't hire them if they're illegal.
Sir, I would find out. You didn't listen. I said I will find out what their status
And
is.
if they're illegal, you say you wouldn't hire them.
No, I would not.
If
But
they're
nine
if
times out of 10,
if
but nine
they're-
times out of 10,
if they're applying for TPS, that does not make them legal to work.
sir, that means they're temporary status. They can work.
They have to go back
They
home.
give them a
They're
work
supposed
visa.
to
They
go
give them
back
a work
home.
visa.
Okay. Well,
Sir,
that's
I
it.
have a
That's what I'm
work
saying.
visa
That's
to-
what I'm
sir,
saying.
I got a work visa to work in Canada.
You're not listening. I just told you
You're
that.
not listening.
I
have
just
a work
said,
visa to
I
work in
just
Canada.
said they will have a document that will tell them they're allowed to work. You said
Thank
no. If they're hungry, they got it. You didn't listen. You didn't listen what I said. That's the
listening.
problem. So that's different. That's not what we're talking about. You said
said
illegal
just
immigrant. No.
three
Wait a minute. Wait a minute.
Just three illegal-
There is a difference between illegal immigrants and TPS holders that have the right to work. Don't
disagree.
twist it. Don't twist it. Illegal.
not
See, this
twisting
is
anything, I'm
why.
telling you.
This is why you have to call them by what their status is. Illegal immigrant and legal migrant. You know why? Because that way you don't make the mistake that you have been doing over and over in this conversation. Because you think it's migrants, so you don't know the difference. This is your
do know the
philosophy, and this is what's wrong with it. You need to learn to call them illegal and legal. That way you know what the difference is.
I know the difference, sir.
All right, Terrence.
What a-
Thanks for your call, bro. I gotta go. Maybe somebody else wants to call. I appreciate you, man, with the conversation.
You do, man.
All right, man. Take it easy, brother. Like
Bye-bye.
sometimes you have to just know that we're gonna agree to disagree. Maybe I'm not listening correctly as well, so it could be also my thing. And you know, I appreciate Terrence because you know I called him a moron, and he didn't flinch. You know what I'm saying? So I know he understands the talk. But the fact is that you have to call it for what it is. If you don't know the difference between illegal and legal, we are doomed. We are doomed. Hey, thanks for calling. Who's this?
Hey, Dennis, this is Serenity. You remember me?
Oh, Serenity. It's been a while, man. How you been?
Good. How are you, sir?
Man, I thought you were hit with a bomb or something.
Weird. Because, well, do you think I live in Iran
No.
with the war going on?
No, man, that's crazy. Where you been?
So what are we talking about today?
Oh, geez, man. This guy took me to illegal immigration, but I was. All right, so look. So we're talking about all these extra taxes here in Washington State. We're a state that doesn't have income tax, and so they raise they raise property taxes, they raise sales taxes, they raise B&O taxes, they raise stock taxes, they raise the heritage, everything. All the taxes have gone up, right? And they made a $9.5 billion, which ended up being a $12 billion budget, and they blew through the money. And so now They are passing, get this, they are passing an income tax. That means a state tax, okay? Just so you know.
Right.
And that state income tax, bro. Oh my God, dude.
Bad, huh?
So let me tell you this. This is about 8% increase on other taxes, okay?
Okay.
And now with this income tax, by the way, it's unconstitutional because they are not letting the people vote for it. And they are starting with a 10% income tax. Now,
So, are you going to is someone challenging this in the court? Or?
I am going to try to go. Well, I'm running for governor. As much as people are laughing on
Yeah, I heard
yeah,
about that.
yeah. So I'm going to run against that, and I hope that a lot of more people with the same sort of mentality set of tax cuts, deregulating, and inviting investment into Washington State will help us fix some of that stuff. I know we have an issue with homelessness. And the problem with homelessness is that the way the government is doing it right now, they're just putting them in these apartments, like these buildings, right, to house them, but they're not giving them treatment, and they're just pulling bodies left and right because they overdose. Washington State is one of those states that encourages drug use, and the way that and I'm serious, I'm not making this up. And the way that they're doing is they say this, and they put it on commercials. If you ever watch Washington State commercials for drug use, look it up. You'll see what I'm talking about. They encourage people. If you are doing drugs, Saturday, I'm going to do drugs with you, but I'm going to show you how to do it responsibly so that we don't become addicts. That is the logic of
Yeah.
We're both going to get lost. So anyway, so I tell you all these issues, and I said, okay, give me something that you think will help the economy here in Washington State with high taxes, corporations leaving us, rich people leaving us. We are afraid that what happened with the federal tax was meant for the rich, right? Well, now everybody that works has to pay that tax. And this income tax is supposed to be for anybody that makes a dollar over $1 million. And what they're afraid of is that all these people are leaving. They're going to lower that to 500, and then eventually everybody, like California, is going to have to pay a state and a federal tax. And well, let's be honest, people are not able to make ends meet in California, nor here in Washington State. So I want some ideas of what you think can bring pricing down.
Man, in Washington State, unfortunately, I'm not really privy to like a huge amount of detail there. I was hoping that we could take our conversation to like the federal level.
Okay. Well, if you talked about the federal level, remember this: the president is the commander in chief of the United States of America, right?
Yeah.
The governors, 50 of them, are commander in chiefs of their state. And then the mayors, there's lots of mayors per city, one mayor per city, and then you have counties. So all of this is meant for us to work in a unison, right? We're supposed to be one unit, and this is where the economy goes. All right, so go ahead. Start with the federal level, and let's see where you go with this.
Well, I guess if it's all right, I was going to ask you a question.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm interested to know how you feel like Trump is doing with the economy in the first year. And the reason why I ask that is because, it seems like we're trending in the wrong direction on almost every issue. Grocery prices, he said that those were going to come down in the first year, and they haven't. They're much higher. With the new war and all the conflicts around the world with all the oil and stuff, gas prices have gone up. The tariffs were deemed unconstitutional, and a judge just said that he's going to have to pay $180 billion of that back, which is our tax money.
The judge? I don't think I don't think that was the case.
I can pull it up if you want to double check.
He has to do more work to do the tariffs, but he can still put the tariffs. I think he just increased it to 15.
He can put a 15% nationwide tariff for 150 days on all countries
worldwide. You mean?
But I'm looking at an article right here. U.S. trade judge orders administration to quit collecting illegal tariffs and repay balance. So he is going to have to repay.
What's the article name?
Judge rules companies are entitled to refunds for Trump tariffs.
Oh, that was the
Supreme Court.
Okay, so the company's suing Trump.
Yeah,
Well,
so
suing the American people. So my argument with these companies will be, are they going to refund me for paying extra prices, extra high prices on all the products and gas that I've been pumping into my car and bringing into the house?
no,
Because
they
if
no, they
companies,
won't.
so any Democrat, I will hope that they're against this because only the rich are getting the tax cuts.
Sure, but I would also, in response to that, I would say
Yeah.
any Republican should be against this, I hope, because Trump illegally collected billions of dollars of taxpayer tariffs from the consumer.
I don't believe it, but that's their
I
interpretation.
mean, that's what the Supreme Court said.
Yeah,
No,
I think the Supreme Court is corrupted. That's just my opinion.
but 3 out of the 9 judges were picked by him, and the majority are Republicans.
Yeah,
So who are they
but
corrupted by? They've ruled with him, I would say, 75, 80% before now.
yeah,
They
but
overturned Roe v. Wade.
well, remember. So, I'm telling you what, Democrats are so good at getting taxes off the people, and it's very ironic that they're going to let rich people get this money because we don't get the money, right? We don't.
Well,
We the people
Trump
don't
is
get the
getting
money.
richer and richer every day, right?
Well, he's already a billionaire. His family has a business where they're billionaires as well. I mean, that's kind of how it works. But
Well, it's not typical that presidents get into office and then raise their net worth by $2.2 billion.
he,
Can I ask you a question?
but he was a
Were
billionaire
you-
before he came into office. He wasn't
Well,
broke.
yeah, but you may be a billionaire, but if you double your money since going into office, that sounds like corruption, right?
Did he double it on his first term?
Yes.
Did
No.
did he
not in the
double it
first
during
term.
Biden's term? Okay,
Biden did not,
then
no.
that means that the
Trump
investments have paid
No.
off.
Trump lost money during Biden's term, a lot of money.
Yeah, and so that money would start comes back, right? There's a lot of money deals out there, but
So when Biden was president, I remember there was this big scandal about how his son was working on an oil company, the board of an oil company, Burisma.
Burisma, yeah, in the
And-
UK, yeah.
And the critique was there was no reason why he should be on that board, and he's profiting off of the taxpayer by giving people special audiences to
Okay.
be able to talk to the president, right? So
Okay.
so the argument is Hunter Biden would say, "Hey, I'll get you a dinner with the president for an amount of money," right? You would call that corruption, right?
Well, the argument was that he was very unqualified and that he should have
Right,
never
right.
been held in that position. That tells
Right,
me
but-
that it's not his son, that is Biden giving
Well,
him.
no, but
See, Biden is
the
defending Hunter. You think it's Hunter that's doing this, but it's Biden doing this. Because
Sure,
remember
that's fine.
on the interview, right? He confessed to it himself.
I'm not
Okay,
interested in
okay,
that part.
okay.
I'm just saying the one of the critiques is Hunter Biden is telling people you can have a dinner with my dad, who's the president of the United States, and you're a company, and that is corrupt in nature because he is giving people extra access to the most powerful person in the world. Would
Yeah,
we agree?
yeah, sure, yeah.
So Trump has a crypto coin.
Yep.
And his top 10 crypto coin owners who invested the most money in his coin got to have dinner with the president. How is that not also the same kind of corruption that you criticize Joe Biden for doing with
Well,
Hunter Biden?
one thing is raising money, and one thing is embezzling people for money.
No, he wasn't embezzling.
So,
he wasn't stealing money. from
Biden
Burisma.
was. Biden was
There is no
using.
proof of that.
Well, when this is what I told you about the interview. You said you didn't care about that, but he said that what they were doing an investigation on Hunter Biden, right? Well, why he's down there? Why is Biden doing this and doing that? And the lawyer that was investigating Burisma and looking into Hunter Biden, the President Biden talked to those people and the hired that lawyer. If you don't fire this guy, don't quote me because the word might be different. If you
I
don't
understand what you
fire
mean.
this guy, I will not send you aid from the United States of America. Mind you, he's the vice president. I guess he can control that. But that, my friend, is totally different than saying, hey, listen, I'm Joe Biden, president of the United States of America. Why don't you come into this ballroom, but the tickets are this much, and yes, this is for me. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But it's
That's
not. He's
a
not
way of doing
raising money
business.
for a campaign. He's
He's not
his-
campaigning.
No, but that's what I'm
he
saying.
can
It's
raise
not-
money for himself. The president
it's
is
not
not.
raising money. No, there's a difference between raising money and making money.
Okay.
Saying raising money implies that there's a reason for raising it.
Yeah.
There's a cause that you're raising.
Right.
Trump isn't raising money for a cause. He's profiting off of his position as president.
Yeah, but he doesn't have to raise money for a cause. He can just make money.
Well, I know, but I'm explaining to you why you saying he's raising money is an incorrect way to explain it.
Okay, I got you.
He's
You're
not
correcting the
raising
wording.
money.
I got you. You're correcting the
He's
wording.
not raising
So he's
money,
making
he's
money by
making
doing
money.
these meetings. Okay, that's fine.
The only reason why he is making money
Yeah.
is because he's the president of the United States.
Yeah, that's fair.
So he's selling access to the president of the United States to anyone willing to donate the most money. That is corruption. That's
Why?
just blatant corruption.
Why is this time?
It's because he works for us.
It doesn't matter. He has time. He can do whatever he wants on his time.
It's not his time. He's doing it in the Oval Office.
Yeah, but it's
That's
his time.
our
It doesn't
time.
matter.
We
He's still
we
taking
pay
care
him
of
for that
everything
time.
else. He's taking care of everything. No, we're not paying him. That's the
He's
thing.
not taking care of everything else.
And you're
The
not paying
economy is
him.
in ruins.
But you're not paying him.
We do pay him.
No, we don't.
He is beholden to the people
Go
of the United States.
find out how much he's getting paid.
Yeah, I know. He's
Yeah,
donating
okay.
his
Well,
salary.
that's
I know.
the
He's
you know.
making- he's
So
making
that's
way more money
how.
from his crypto
So
dinners than
exactly,
the taxpayer
but
could ever pay him.
yes, but I'm going to tell you a difference. Okay, so we're not paying him, so that gives him a little back door to get away from
But
that
that's
argument.
bad. What you're saying. It's not
You know
good.
what? Everybody agree
That
with
means
it.
That means he's no longer beholden to the people of the United States.
He's
He
done
can
more
do
for this
whatever he
country
wants.
than any other president in history.
No,
What are you
he's
talking about?
destroyed this country
Would
more
you
than any
would you
president in
rather
history.
him just make money selling books, making deals with
Well,
Netflix,
okay, well, hold on.
with
Let me just ask you a
Disneyland?
few questions.
Uh-huh.
Just tell me yes or no. Let me ask you a few questions.
Yeah.
Are grocery prices better or worse than they were when Trump started office?
Here in Washington State,
In the United States as an average?
from when Biden took over, the prices are down.
No, that's not the question I asked you. Trump came into office
Yeah.
and said in 365 days
Yeah.
that grocery prices would be well below what they were when he took office. And in fact, they have risen
Nope, they are.
by more than
They're still lower.
35% average.
They're still lower
Okay,
here in
so-
Washington State. The taxes went up.
Okay, I'm talking about the United States.
Yeah, but-
I don't live in Washington
well,
State. He's the
yeah,
president for
it's-
every. He's the president for every state. He's
Again.
not just the president for Washington State.
Yes. That's what I gave my disclosure. I knew this was coming because this is what the other argument is. They want to blame Trump for everything. I gave you the explanation that the president is not responsible solely for that. And I'm going to give you the biggest example here in Washington, okay? In Washington, because if I give examples from other red states, everything has gone down. I've seen gas prices below $2 at some point.
Right.
Okay, but
But
here in
that's my
Washington, before he came in office, we had no eggs. You guys know this, okay? We couldn't afford gas. Gas prices were dramatically dropped from $5.69 to $3.09 at the most expensive while President Trump has been in office, okay?
But nationwide, they're
Wait,
back
but
up.
well, hey, listen, I'm
Because
telling
of
you,
war.
I just told you, with all the red states, the prices went down drastically.
But
Here
is
in
that not a
Washington
failure
State,
on
no,
Trump's
it's
part?
not, because we got governors. We got our own budgets. We're not
So
socialists.
Trump's not responsible for anything.
No, he's responsible,
Nothing
but
that
he's
happens
not.
nationwide is his fault.
My friend, if President Trump is doing the best, for Pete's sakes, we went from the barrel of oil going $130 under Biden to $58 under Trump. And
And it's gonna be even more
that's
expensive because
okay,
of the war
but
in
it's
Iran now.
temporary. That's just fear mongering. Okay, they
It's
told me
not fear-mongering, it's
brother, they
happening.
told me the same thing as soon as he put those tariffs on, and we saw the economy
And
get
it
better.
did happen. Prices have soared
And
across
but
the United
bro,
States.
this is in blue cities and states is what you're talking to me about. It's not
No,
across
I'm
the
talking about
states. No,
the
it's not.
average of the United. So, what is the average United States number for the rise of grocery costs? Can you tell me?
Bro, let me tell you this. You have taxes. Inflation is always going to go up. Inflation doesn't stop. You know that, right? Inflation is not always going to be 2%. That can go up, and that's
he
okay.
said that he would lower it.
Well, he's trying the best out of it, but Democrats are not
But
helping.
He's failing. He's
Because
failing.
of why? Why is he failing?
Because he's
If you
inept.
think he's failing-
unable to do it.
Oh, see, that's your problem right there. You think he's inept. Is that
Because he's
why? Wait a
proving-
minute. Is that why all the world leaders respect him? Is that why NATO is on his side? Is that the reason why? Okay, well, if he is inept, I know you don't, but you got to listen to the truth. If he is inept, he would have never got NATO to help Ukraine. Now they're paying for the missiles and all the no, bullshit. They were giving handouts, and the United States lost over $200 billion.
He ceded our soft power in Europe.
Bro,
You know,
so
the
what
less
has
that we
President?
pay
Okay, here.
for-
So you
You know,
already,
the less that we pay for in Europe, the less influence.
bro,
we have in
you're
Europe, right?
you're still on the leftist narrative. Don't come out here with me
Dude,
on the.
you
No,
wear-
listen.
You literally wear a Trump hat.
Listen,
Call yourself a MAGA Republican.
hey, listen. It's the freedom of speech.
What propaganda are you saying that I'm following?
It's-
I don't wear a Joe Biden shirt. You wear a Trump hat.
You don't have to wear it. You are the left. You
Dude,
are the
you
far
are-
left.
All you can do is say Trump's talking points. Trump, I have never
Wait
once heard
a
you
minute.
criticize Trump
Wait
ever.
a minute. I
Say one
follow.
critique for Trump.
Listen,
One critique.
you don't pay attention. I follow the policies. I
Tell me
followed the
one
policies.
One policy that Trump has done that you disagree with. One.
That I disagree. No, I said I support
One
him because
policy.
of the policy. No, every single
Tell
policy.
me one policy. So he has a 100% batting average.
Everything
He's
that
a-
I want, he has.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. That's propaganda.
And
I
what
can-
what policy
I
do
can
you agree
critique-
with?
For Trump?
Yeah.
Oh, anything about capping insulin, I think that's a great
Oh,
idea.
get out of here with that, man. That's petty. That's petty, bro.
He said it.
That
He
is,
said
I
it.
know that's true, but that's what you're gonna say? That's petty, bro.
I think that's
you're
a
just
great idea.
you're just
What do you
making
mean?
some minuscule props is what you're doing.
You think capping
Unbelievable.
insulin is a minuscule problem?
Unbelievable.
You think the price of insulin is a minuscule
Listen,
problem?
it's a great deal, but what I'm saying is that's not everything that Trump has done. What did he do in Venezuela? Is he inept with Venezuela? Was
Yeah,
he inept?
because
That,
because
bro,
the
you're gonna make me
original
curse, Serenity.
government of the original government of Venezuela is still in control, Dennis.
Yes, because we don't want a regime change, do we? We want them to be able to trade fairly with us and not to help communist countries that want to destroy us.
They are communist.
No shit, Sherlock, but now we're controlling it. That's what an inept president does, control things that are uncontrollable.
Yeah,
Iran's
spending
nuclear
money
facility,
abroad.
we destroyed
What
it.
happened to no
We
wars?
said,
What happened to
we
peace?
warned them. We warned them. We said, okay, hey, we
yeah.
vaporize your nuclear facilities, knock it off. If you
Wait,
wait a
so
minute,
we
wait a
vaporized
minute.
our
I'm not
nuclear
done.
facilities?
I'm not done.
All right, that's fine. Yeah, go
I'm
ahead.
not done. We said, if you intend to do this again, will unleash the wrath upon you. That's my words to that. We will take you out. Do you understand? We're giving you a way out. And what does Iran do? Number one, he comes back and says, death to America still. He says that he
this is
has,
all the
wait a
George W.
minute.
Bush talk.
He's,
Yeah,
wait a minute. He says, I'm watching them. They're the ones that are saying this. They're bragging about it because
I'm
they're
saying
low
this is
IQ.
Iraq all over again.
Well, it doesn't
We're
matter.
supporting
Iraq
all
is
over
doing
again.
fantastic today because of us. But
Oh,
you're
yeah,
welcome.
the Taliban took
Yeah,
over
why not?
in
Barack Obama
Afghanistan.
did a
Oh,
good
yeah,
job.
great. They're
Yeah,
doing-
Barack
they're doing
Obama did good.
fantastic.
George Bush did a good job. Was bullshit
yeah,
massive
they did great. Oh,
weapons
yeah.
of mass
So-
destruction?
so
Yeah, it was
wait.
bullshit. No, don't change the conversation. Let me finish.
sup-
Number two, they were bragging about having nuclear capabilities. They bragged about it. And then they bragged about building intercontinental rockets that will bring that death to America. So tell me that an inept president, what he is doing in Iran right now, which a lot of Iranian people are praising President Trump, not just in Iran, but all over the country, especially in New York. Tell me that that's an inept president. You see how
Dennis,
far left you
7
went? You don't understand.
Seven Americans are dead.
And it's war, right? That's what they did on us.
What happened to being the anti-war president? I thought he was the anti-war president.
We still haven't declared war on them. This is
I thought
nothing.
you just said it was war. Wait, you
They
just
are
said it was
warring.
war.
They are warring.
You just said it was war.
Bro, listen.
Dude, do you see how far down the Trump, like the thought train you're down? Like, you can't critique him at all. You can't name a single policy of his that you disagree with. You glaze him all day long. You wear his
So you
face on
didn't
your
understand
chest.
what I just said. I said they are warring on us. They are warring on us. By that definition, it is war. But we haven't
Right.
declared war. The moment we declare war, they're done.
That is a
And that is yes.
We haven't declared war is a
What?
little back door that you can make yourself to get out of.
But it's
things that you
legit.
get stuck in.
But it's
It's
legit.
not legit.
It's
No,
legit.
garbage. Because
Until
Trump
we
has
say
called
it,
a
and
war.
no, until
Trump
we
is-
declare
this is
war,
garbage. This is
it's not
garbage.
done.
Trump Trump has called it a war. Hegseth has called it a war. Mark Wayne Mullen called it a war.
Yes.
You just called it a war.
Yes.
So don't give
It's
me
a
lip
war
service and say
that they
this
have on
isn't a war.
us.
You're so full of it, dude.
Get your ass out of the left a little bit, okay? Just a little bit.
Dude, you wear MAGA
I
on
just
your
said,
face.
so what?
You
So
wear
what?
MAGA on your face. What do you
And
mean, get my
what?
ass out of the left?
What
You
about
literally
it?
wear
What does MAGA mean?
Dude, you are.
What
you
does
are
MAGA
a
mean?
slave.
What
You are
does
a
MAGA
slave.
mean?
It means fighting war in Iran.
Shut the hell up, bro. Shut up.
It means fighting
Shut
war in Iran.
up. It means make
it means
America
bailing
great
out-
again, dummy.
it means
That is a
bailing
Ronald
out
Reagan
vegan-
slogan that we're picking up on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You-
no.
you
Listen,
literally-
I know where you're at on the left. I already know that. But
dude,
what you didn't understand is this. What am I supposed to do? Are we supposed to just sit back and keep talking to them like 47 years we've been doing? You think that they're warring on us? Obviously, we're
Dude,
going to
they
get
have no
involved. But
ability
this
to
is
hit
not
us.
our war. This is
They have
their
no ability
war.
to do anything to
Now,
us.
listen,
He
again,
wants to-
you're not
he wants to
listening.
get away from-
You are
he wants
not
to get away
listening.
from the Epstein
You,
files.
bro, shut up with the Epstein files, please.
Oh yeah, so you don't
Please.
care about rape victims?
Oh
You don't care
yeah,
about
do
women
you?
rape victims?
Do you?
I do,
Because
yeah,
all
I
of your
care about the
Congress
Epstein
people,
files. Do you?
all your Congress
Do you?
people just signed on a bill to block, to let everybody
Yeah,
know that all this
Republicans
sexual
did.
harassment suits that they
Republicans
got, all of your
Republicans
Democrats
did.
signed, and Republicans,
Republicans did.
both of them.
No, Democrats signed it.
65
Nice
of
try.
them. 65 of them. Yeah, go
You
look
should
at the
check.
stats.
Democrats signed it. Nice
65
try.
of them. Go
Republicans
check
were
best friend.
best
Bro, if
friends
you're a
with them.
rapist and you're my friend, you think I should be called a rapist because you're dumbass?
No, we.
Then
no, we
shut
can
up
call
then.
that
Don't
because
bring that
he's-
up. Don't be
he's bra-
stupid.
he's-
Be
he's
smart
bragged
about your comment.
assaulting women. He's bragged about assaulting
He hasn't
women.
bragged about assaulting women.
Yes, he did. He said,
When?
I grabbed them by the pussy.
And they
That's
like
exactly
it.
what he said.
So what's the problem?
Yeah, so that's
But they
assault.
like it.
That's assault.
That's not assault. They
That's
like
assault.
it. They
What about
want
when
it.
What about when he said on Howard Stern that he walked into the preteen girls' dressing room?
No,
and
he
let
said
them
the
do
beauty
that?
pageant. Nice
Yeah,
try.
well, yeah, they
Nice
were
try. They're
teenagers at the
old. They're
beauty
18 and
pageant.
over.
They are not. They were
They're
teenagers.
18 and over. Don't
They
twist
are
it.
not.
There's a
You're
record for
covering
it.
up for his disgusting
And I'm
behavior.
covering. I'm defending him
You're
from your
covering
lies.
up for his disgusting behavior.
I'm defending
because-
him from your lies.
No, they're not lies.
You're
These are
lying
things that he
about
said.
every single thing. Tell me, do you support mutilating children? You
Do I
support transgenders?
mutilated children?
Yeah. Do you support transgenders?
Oh, nice topic switch.
Oh,
wanna
yeah.
talk
Well,
about
hey, well,
transgender
listen.
instead of
I want to
Trump?
see who you are. Do you
wanna
support?
take-
Do
no,
you
wanna
support
run away
transgenders?
you wanna
How many
run away
genders
from
are
the
they?
Epstein file.
How many genders are there?
2.
Okay. So do you support transgenders?
In what? Do I support them in what?
Did I stutter? It's
Yeah,
just a
your
yes or
question
no.
was dumb, so try to ask me a
I
clearer
don't
question.
support it. Do you?
Okay. I support what?
Jesus. How many times I have to ask the question? How hard is the question? Do you support
Support
transgender?
what? What does support transgender mean?
Mutilating
Do I
children.
think that they exist? No, I don't support mutilated children.
Okay, well, if you
What a
you
dumb
support transgenders, then you're supporting that because that's what they're doing.
Okay, nice gotcha. I don't support that.
I don't
So,
give a shit
let's
about
talk
gotchas. I
Trump.
care about facts.
Nice gotcha, bro. Nice try. I don't support transgender. Why don't we talk about Trump and the economy? Hey, well, let me ask you a question. Why do all the Republicans think they're going to lose the midterms coming up? You don't think that has anything to do
I don't
with
think we're
the fact
gonna
that Trump
lose.
Trash the economy?
No, I don't think we're going to lose.
Okay, so let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. Let's talk again after the midterms.
How about
After
let's
we
make a
lost,
deal?
and I'll
How
let
about you
know.
didn't call me when the gas prices were down and you waited for the chance to come in here and throw it on
Oh,
my
I did.
face?
Oh, I did. Remember? I
Yeah,
called you
and the
6
prices,
months ago.
and you didn't believe it back then, and they were low. So what am I supposed
No,
to do to
I-
convince you?
Bro, I did believe that they were low. Nice try.
Bullshit.
Again. You're putting words in my
Bullshit.
mouth.
You
Nice
always
try.
deny it.
Dude, if you debate like this, the governor stage is going to be really difficult. I want you to know.
I'm not
You're
going to
gonna be
debate your
triggered
stupidity. I'm going to
incredibly
debate
easily.
what he's doing
You get
against the
so
state.
Triggered incredibly easily.
And
It's
what are you
crazy.
doing? Are you
Like,
triggered?
No. I'm not
Absolutely.
telling you, no.
100% you're triggered.
You're literally screaming into your microphone. You're Larry the Tomato Red right now. Like I can hear you screaming. Into
And
your
what do you think
microphone.
I'm supposed to do when you're talking over me?
Dude, do you think
I'm
I'm
just, no. Well, no. Don't play dumb. Don't play dumb. Don't play dumb. I tell you the facts that I feel that is right. You asked for my opinion,
Okay,
so
cool.
why
So
are
the
you
facts-
fighting it?
The facts are the economy is trashed. The tariffs
Temporarily.
were unconstitutional. Temporarily.
Tariffs are
yeah,
not
it's temporary.
unconstitutional.
They were ruled
They are not
unconstitutional by
unconstitutional.
the
I don't
Supreme
give a
Court.
shit what the Supreme Court says.
Well,
That they're
that's
not
unfortunate, but the
unconstitutional.
Supreme Court If you took any history class or civics class in high school, you would know that the Supreme Court.
Yeah, we need to hold him accountable for that. That's what I believe.
What? By doing what?
Well, that we have to do whatever we need to do to hold him accountable.
Do what?
Yeah, exactly. I want you to tell me how. So go ahead and tell me.
Turn it around. I asked you a question. Answer my question.
My point. That is my point. That is my point. That there is nothing that we can do.
Right,
but
so
we can go ahead and let everybody know. We can always say transparency is the best key. Let the people know that these judges are corrupt because they are activist judges. Let's not forget.
Amy Coney Barrett, the one that Trump appointed that voted against him on the tariffs?
Please, these people are activists, bro. If there's something,
she's an activist?
if there is something that I disagree on Trump, is that.
Trump picked a bad judge.
Yeah, that's what I disagree with. I disagree with Trump on that.
Man. Wow.
Yeah, thank you. You just brought me over to that attention. Thank you for that.
Wow. So Trump is bad at picking judges. What else is Trump bad at?
Yeah. Well, he's really bad at being soft on crime.
Oh, I
think he has to be tougher. He's not tough.
He keeps bailing out all of these crypto billionaires by giving them.
Oh yeah, bring crypto back again. Is that a private? No. Is that a private thing, or is that a public announcement?
No, he bailed using the government.
Yeah, that's fine.
System.
I'm okay with that.
Bailed out people who stole billions of dollars.
Sure.
Committed billions of dollars in fraud. So wait, do you care about the fraud in Minnesota?
Well, of course I do.
Oh, so why don't you care about Trump bailing out crypto billionaires that committed billions of dollars in fraud? Crypto fraud that stole from the American people, the taxpayer. You don't care about that?
And what are you doing about Minnesota?
Oh, nice turnaround again. Nice pivot. Why don't you answer my question?
Well, I don't think it's right. But he was accused and he went to jail, and the president has the right to pardon. What's the problem?
I don't care about what the president has the right for.
Well, there you go. That's your problem. But he has the authority.
Whether or not you think it's right.
Yeah, I don't think it's right.
That's right. Do you care about that?
Yeah, I don't think it's right.
Cool. So do you see how I have to?
But the president has the power to pardon to make it right.
See, I have to claw out any disagreement on Trump. That's how you're mind controlled by him. I literally have to claw, pull, heave anything I can possibly pull.
Don't be dramatic. Don't be a drama queen. Just say the damn thing. Stop being dramatic.
I'm sorry. Are you triggered? Are you getting triggered again?
So listen. Don't be this. Don't be an ass. Don't be a jackass. Okay.
Oh, dude, you
trying to trigger me. Is that what you call for?
Dude,
or you called to have a conversation?
Made fun of me for stuttering.
Because you were making fun of me for raising my voice, which I can do. I'm a very passionate person, sir.
Sure. Yeah. I'm just
okay. So why you bring it up? Just shut the hell up. That's what I'm saying.
Shut the hell up.
You see me. You see the hat? You see that? You know who? You know what show this is? This is my show. I can say whatever I want.
You do the same things that you criticize other people for. Have you realized that?
Yeah, but you are a far left. And then you are far left, and you have told me that. Yeah, bullshit. You told me you were far left. I know that. That was about as honest as you were with me before. But anyway, so I said, so I disagree. I disagree.
I asked you a question. What far left thing do I support?
Everything that is against Trump, you support.
Name one thing.
Everything. He's a pedophile. He's in the Epstein files. He's over here. He's inept.
He is in the Epstein files.
Okay, well, that's your opinion. Okay, but now you're saying opinions.
So Nancy Mace believes that he's in the Epstein files.
He's in the Epstein files. Why do you think he's in the Epstein files, bro?
Because
I don't understand. And so what about it? What is wrong with you? What about it?
We should investigate Bill Clinton?
I think everybody should be investigated.
So Trump as well.
Well, let's take a look. Bill Clinton, you didn't get shit. Bill Clinton has a photo of him in the Epstein on the Epstein Island. Do he have a picture of Trump with women in the island? Did Epstein have a picture of Trump?
Pictures of Trump with Jeffrey Epstein and women all over him, and some of them are victims.
Not on the island. Not on the island.
Bill Clinton wasn't on the island either.
Well, his portrait was there on a dress. Remember that?
Oh, dang. So another detail that you tried to misrepresent just now.
Why?
He was not on the island. There's no pictures of Bill Clinton on the island.
Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. He just went on a joyride on Lolita. That's right. Yeah, that's right. He never went to the island. He just went. What is it? How many times did he go on the plane for just for a ride?
You peddle misinformation, like you. Say
what are you doing?
True, and then I just caught you in misinformation.
That's on what?
I call
that hasn't been proven fake.
On the island.
It hasn't been proven fake.
So the allegations against Trump haven't been proven fake. He's a rapist. How about that?
Okay, so you agree with that?
Dang. So no, I'm using your own
So you're
logic
you're so
against you.
well. I think your
No, I'm
logic is
using your
stupid.
own
That's not
logic
logic.
against you.
That's not logic.
No, well, yeah, because you said it.
You're not logical.
I just used your logic. You said because the allegations against Bill Clinton haven't been proven false.
Yeah. Okay. All
Why
right.
can't I say that about Trump? The allegations
will
against him haven't been proven
agree
false.
then that Bill Clinton is innocent then.
So okay, so
Yeah, by your logic, Bill Clinton is innocent. So
I'm using your
I'm
logic.
using your
I'm repeating
logic.
what you
You're
said.
right. You beat me. Bill Clinton
Dennis,
is innocent. You're right.
Dennis, I repeated what you said.
Yeah, and I'm repeating what you said. So we're fine. Now we can agree to something.
Okay, so why don't we agree on the fact that Trump, what you said earlier, Trump has trashed the economy. That is what happened. And
He
you said
came
it's
into a trashed
temporary.
economy. That's not what happened. He came into a trash economy.
What happened
Don't
to
make it.
But he said that he was going to fix it in a year, and he still hasn't.
Oh my God! Did you help secure the border?
Do I have
No,
to
you didn't
work
do
for the
shit.
government in
Okay,
order
well
to
you
vote?
didn't do anything, so you have no opinion now, do you?
Did you? Did you?
Yeah, I've been trying to. I've been raising my
you're out at the
voice.
border? You're
I've
out
been
at the border
talking
with a
about it. I'm
gun in your-
against
Oh,
it.
you've been talking about it.
Well,
You
I'm
don't have an
against
opinion
it.
either.
Well,
Nice
you're for
try.
it.
Nice try, dude. So because I didn't work for the government, I can't have an opinion?
What I'm telling
That's
you
the most
is,
illiberal- You sound like a communist. You sound like a communist
support.
right now.
No, you're the one that supports communists.
You sound like a communist.
You come over
literally just said
here
to me-
and you're gonna
you
tell
just said
me.
to me,
You're
"Oh,
going to
you're a
tell me
communist."
that after
You
seeing,
literally-
wait a minute, after seeing millions of illegal immigrants, you're going to tell me that Trump still has to clean that up? And what does he do when he tries to clean it up? People like you come and make him look like shit, a dictator. They call him a
no,
Nazis
he
and all this
has a-
stuff.
he can
No,
make
you see
himself
the
look like
logic
shit.
on that? You
He can
forget
make
about the
himself look like
invasion
shit
that
just
we
fine.
just had. That invasion happened. And that invasion happened under the Biden administration. The economy, the inflation went up to 9.4%. They knew what Trump was going to win. And inflation went back down. Isn't that wonderful?
It's still going back up. and
Well,
also
it's going to
prices
go
are up
right
in
back
every
down. It's
sector.
going to be right back down.
Right.
Yeah, these
It's
are
just
all
crazy
investments that you know
when we
nothing
talked
about.
When we talked last time, you told me that within a year all these problems were going to be solved. And
In-
now
in
it's past a year, and
2026.
you're still making excuses. You're still making excuses.
Bro, it's not excuses. What he can't control
It
the
is.
future.
Oh, so he failed then.
Oh, okay. Does that make you happy? He failed to
Uh,
you. Okay. He's got 3 years left, but it's okay. He failed.
So,
Good job.
Now we're getting closer to the truth.
No,
Now you're starting to admit
no.
the truth.
I'm being
So
sarcastic
tell
to
your
you.
audience that you agree that Trump failed on fixing the economy within a year, like he said he was going
No,
to.
you say he's failed. I don't think
No,
it's
no,
failure.
no.
I think it's very successful. I think it's
Oh,
very
so
successful.
Prices being down. Is that happening? Are
Hey,
prices
listen,
down?
if you're not fighting the war over there, the least you can do is
prices
stop
down?
complaining like a little biatch. Don't complain
prices
about
down?
prices. Yes, prices are still better than they were under Biden. Still,
I'm
even
sorry,
with
that's
the
not what I
war
asked you.
going on,
Nice
bro,
try. That's not what I
even
asked you.
with
Are
the
prices down?
war,
Sorry.
prices
I
are
mean,
still better than when Biden and no
asked you.
war.
That's not what I asked
What's
you.
your
Nice try.
excuse?
Are prices down?
Yes.
Or are they up?
They're down.
Oh, so we're living in two different universes because
You must
I'm
be.
looking-
You don't live in Washington State. You say you don't know shit about Washington State. So now you're going to go ahead and criticize me
I
about
know.
where I live?
I'm sorry. Is Trump president of Washington State?
No, but the governor is, and he's
Oh,
ruining
so
the
he's
economy
not.
in our
So
state.
Nice try. He's not. Nice try. So
You're an
prices
idiot,
are
bro.
up.
You're a dumbass, bro. You're an idiot. You know, this is what I had a problem with you. Because if I give you a logical answer, now you're going to go ahead and give me this whole I got you thing.
No, all you.
I
try to
just
do is
told
go
you.
back
You
to
asked me a
Washington
question,
State.
and I answered it. It's no
No,
matter
no,
what,
you
listen,
didn't.
no
You
matter what I
didn't.
answer, you're not going to agree with me because you're a leftist. I get it. But it doesn't
not a
matter.
leftist.
You don't
Nice
see,
try.
you
You don't
are,
even know
bro.
what- you
You
don't even
are
know what
so
leftist
left,
means.
you're almost gay. That's how far left you are. You're almost
I'm
gay.
sorry. So
Actually, you are gay. I forgot. I'm sorry. But I mean a bad gay. A bad gay. I mean a bad gay.
Start trading personal insults because there's a lot about your appearance that I could go for. But
Yeah,
I'm not
go for
going
it.
to.
There's a lot of material. Go for it. What else you gonna say?
No, because I'm a better person than you.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm not- I'm
You're
not
you're
willing
better
to-
than me. Oh, okay. I got you.
Because I don't insult people in the way that you do.
Okay, but you're better than me. That's not an insult?
You literally just called me gay, Dennis.
Well,
Look
aren't
in the
you?
mirror.
Aren't you?
Do you see what you're
I
doing
got
right
7
now?
kids.
Like,
I'm married to a woman. I've never been with a man, but you might be one to man.
You're
What's wrong with
receiving
it?
into insults because you're losing right now. Is what's happening.
What am I
The mark
losing?
of the mark of someone who loses a debate is the first person to sling insults. So
Oh, okay.
congratulations,
All
you
right.
just won that award.
Thank you. Okay, I'll stop insulting you from your fragile feelings. So
you're
everything
still
that I've
you're running
said,
away. You're running
everything that
away.
I said, you said, are prices high right now or down? I said they're down. Oh, well, not where I live. Well, shut up then. What's the
No,
problem?
the average of the United States, bozo. Why don't you use your brain?
I live in
Are we
Washington
talking about
State.
one state?
Yeah, that's it.
I don't care about Washington State. I
Okay,
care
then
about
you
the
you called the
United
wrong
States.
line. Call your state.
Dennis,
Call your state.
you are brain broken. You literally
I'm
cannot
brain broken. You
criticize
have
your
no
own
brain.
side.
You have no
I can
brain.
criticize my own side as much as I
Can you criticize your
a
own
lot.
side?
I
Can
can,
you?
no, yeah.
Okay.
You want me to
Yeah,
for
go
it?
ahead.
How about
Criticize
this?
yourself.
Let's see how many things I can come up with, and then we can see how many things you can come up with.
You're proud to be gay, insulted to be called gay. The logic, bro, is the logic that they use. But don't worry, he has enough fans on the chat. Go ahead. You own me. Great job. You made your points. You win. You trigger me. I called your names. We're still winning with Trump, and he's doing a tremendous job. What else you got?
We're not though. I mean, so let me ask you this.
Again.
Why did his
That is my
approval-
answer.
Why did his approval on immigration go from 59% when he got elected to 39% today?
I know why. Do you know why?
I do. Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
Because his immigration program has been an absolute abject failure.
Mm.
Obama deported more immigrants than he did without killing innocent Americans in the street.
Oh, that's fantastic. Great logic. That's all you got?
Thank you. That's
How
all I
about
need.
Democrats telling citizens to go out there and
Nice pivot.
okay,
pivot.
that's not a fucking
Nice
pivot,
pivot.
bro. Come on.
That's
It's
that's
not
what
a
you did.
pivot.
You're not.
What?
Everything I say is how about the Democrats. That's what you do. Every time I say.
No.
something,
Whoa,
it's
whoa,
how
whoa,
about
wait
the
a minute. We're
Democrats
talking
do.
about
That's
immigration,
intimidation.
period.
It's-
Period.
You're
When
pivoting.
Barack Obama deported these people, he was given access to jails. Nobody fought back on him. Everybody
He still beat
cooperated. No. Don't you talk about pivot. Listen, man. That's what I'm saying. You're a leftist. You are not trying to have a conversation. You're a leftist points on everything
You're
you
the one
say.
that called me gay. What do you mean?
Well,
I'm
you
not
are
having a
gay. So
conversation.
what? Own it.
Do you see that? Do you see what you're doing?
You are gay, right? You told me you were gay.
You are running away from the argument.
Okay, I was giving you an explanation, and you say, "Oh, there you go again, insulting the Democrats." Shut up and listen. The Democrat, unfortunately, they happen to be Democrats. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? They are hiding in sanctuary cities, like here in Washington. A state patrol got killed because they keep protecting an illegal immigrant with multiple DUIs. ICE is trying to get these people out. Democrat cities and states, they are blocking President Trump from doing what he's supposed to do. Now, let me remind you, again, just like with the economy, President Trump came into a disastrous immigration problem. No. You have to be legit. You know, 21 million illegal. Okay, thanks for calling, bro. Listen, if you're not going to listen, don't call me. Don't call me. If you think you're going to win an argument because you trigger me to defend President Trump, if you're not going to listen to both sides, I'm giving you both sides of the story, but you don't want to listen. It's like, say, California have to pay $3 for gas because in New Jersey, we pay $3 too. But no. Gavin Newsom put state taxes in the gas, and now they pay almost $8. Actually, they paid $8.30. What I was going to say about this is, when you are, thank you, Evan. I'll let you have a moment to call. When I'm trying to make a point is, if you think, Serenity, if you think that you got me triggered because I'm giving you my opinion on what I see, don't get mad at me because you disagree with that. That's my opinion. See, you calling in so that you can get a gotcha moment. That's okay. Whatever floats your boat. But what I know is that the Biden administration left a really bad economy. That's how it works. Every president has left a bad economy for the next one. That's why President Trump is trying to do what Ronald Reagan said back in '89. We're trying to leave it better for the next people that come into government. And that's exactly what we have to do. But because you're so far left and you don't want to listen to what I'm saying, what I'm trying to tell you is that because the Biden administration and the Democrats, let's not forget that Democrats are putting illegal immigrants before American citizens. If you allow me to say what I need to say instead of interrupting me, because when you keep interrupting me, I have to talk louder and louder and louder. That's just how I am. You guys don't believe that I have ADHD. That's fine. Don't believe it. But you're not giving me a chance to go ahead and say what I need to say. You ask me a question, you don't like my answer, then you start speaking over me. We're talking about over 21 million illegal immigrants came to this country. How are we going to get that out of here? When President Barack Obama deported over 3 million people himself, which, by the way, we already passed that because we have self-deportations. We are more humane than Barack Obama was with those children cages that they try to blame on President Trump when he came into office. Remember that fake op photo from AOC? See, that's the difference. You libtards, what you like to do is to speak over people so that they can explain what's actually happening, which when I do a debate with the governor is going to be a lot different. It's going to be a lot more moderation. And it's going to be a lot more time to actually say everything that I have to say. There's a big difference between you coming over here and try to disrupt me when I'm trying to give you an answer. Again, Democrats were losing. They're losing control. They want to stay in power. What do? They allow millions of illegal immigrants. Why? Because Trump's agenda is one of the policies, secure the border. They make fun of it. Till this day, you on the left keep making fun of Trump for saying Mexico's going to pay for the border. Guess what? They send thousands, tens of thousands of National Guard from Mexico to guard this border on the northern part of Mexico. Guess what? They're paying for it, not us. And by the way, by getting rid of all these illegal immigrants, self-deporting, we don't have to spend billions of dollars, and we can use that money to build that wall. How about that for a tax? And then on top of that, you allow all this big chaos. Prices very high, inflation's horrible, gas, this and that. Taxes are going to come into effect. They let all these millions of illegal immigrants come into this country, and then the person that has to clean it up has to take the responsibility to be called a dictator, a Nazi, a Gestapo. You guys don't even know what a Gestapo is. You talk about pretty good over here. Good trying to run the guy over with a car. She got what she got. Do I think it's right? No, absolutely not. Should she have been in that situation? Absolutely not. But the Democrat governors and mayors told them, go block them, impede, be an obstacle to them. And then as soon as I start saying that, because you know that's true, you start cutting me off. You start speaking over me because you know that you don't want to hear the truth. Petty went over there and he had a gun with him. Listen, if you have a gun, try to avoid elevating the situation. You know, federal agents have jurisdiction over all the United States of America. It is none of your business if they're picking up an illegal immigrant. If you want to help, go help in court. You don't get to obstruct ICE agents. You respect the law and you respect the law enforcement agents. And this is where you like to go on the left's defense. You say you're not a lefty, but you're a far left. You're a far left because the moment that I start speaking sense to you with truth and fact, you start cutting me off. You want to find a way to make Trump look bad? That's fine. You call him a pedophile? You see how you backtrack when you said Bill is not guilty according to my opinion? And okay, you got me on that. And I said, okay, I like that better. So I shouldn't say that Bill Clinton is guilty because, well, these are just allegations. Maybe that photo was fake. Well, guess what? The same logic comes right back to you, my friend. And that tells me that President Trump is not guilty, is he? But your own logic that you try to use against me, say, oh, I'm just using your logic. Exactly. When you use my logic, you actually prove my point. That I cannot say that Bill Clinton is guilty, and neither can you say that President Trump is guilty either. You see the differences when you let somebody talk instead of being disrespectful and start cutting me off? I don't have to scream as loud. When you're screaming on here, I got you on speakerphone. It's loud for me. The more you talk, the louder I got to talk. That's kind of how it works. If you really want to have a real debate, then you will have a moderator, and you will let somebody else talk. All right? That's where I'm at with that. So I am glad that you think that was a great point that you were making. You know what? Keep living in your own fantasy. I think that there is a lot of knowledge, a lot of potential on what you know, but the way you go about it, I'm just going to disagree with it. And you and I can always agree to disagree. And that's okay with me. All I can tell you is the first thing you said about Washington State, oh, I don't know anything about Washington State. And then you go and ask me a question, how are prices in food? I said, well, they're lower. Well, I don't mean Washington State. I mean the nation. Well, I'm talking about Washington State. If I came in and I told you that I want to talk about the economy in Washington State, you ignored the rules of engagement, so to speak. You went on a different subject. You wanted to talk about federal government. Okay, I'll let you talk about federal government. But then you didn't like my answer. There's nothing I can do about it. You want to make accusations. Okay. If you believe that the economy is bad, okay, then you believe the economy is bad. Why are you calling me? That's what I don't understand. Why are you calling me? If you believe that it's bad, why are you asking a stupid question? If you already, see, the thing is this. If you ask a question and you already made up your mind, why are you asking? Why are you asking? It's like when I tell my wife, hey, babe, I don't know where I lost my keys. Her question, where did you put them? Logic. If I knew where they were, I didn't lose my keys. You already know the answer that you have in your mind. So why ask the question if you're not going to accept the answer? You see how that went? So I don't appreciate you making me raise my voice, talking over me. You can't go and say an example to put Trump down and then defend Biden. But you can't do that. If you want to accuse Trump of something, and I said, I don't believe that, but this is what I see on the other side, and they're like, oh, no, don't pivot, don't pivot, don't pivot, don't go there. Whatever, bro, whatever. No respect for you. Sorry, that's not how you earn my respect. I have heated arguments with people on here, and they got my respect. They got my respect. So what? So what if you're gay? So what? Be proud. That's what they say. Be proud to be gay. There's nothing wrong with being gay. But you are what you are, man. You that's it. It is what it is. You know there's two genders, and yet you support transgenders. Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, okay. Sure. I believe that. When pigs fly, they say. Let's see. $130 billion tariff refund. A federal trade court judge has ordered the Trump administration to begin the process of refunding over $130 billion in tariffs that the Supreme Court recently invalidated. The court directed U.S. Customs and Border Protection to stop assessing these duties on imports and to prepare for a potentially massive repayment process with interest. When our enemies start attacking us because of the stupidity that you people support on the left, it's not going to bring me joy because it's not going to fix the situation. I am glad that Trump is bold enough to ignore these petty accusations and all this blah, blah, blah problems that these people make up. I have my beliefs. I got my opinions. And I say what I say. I believe that everything that we're doing right now is the right thing. And most of people that voted for Trump, which is over 80 million people, most of them agree with me. Most of the Democrats disagree. I get it. That's going to be on the overwhelmingly against that. That's okay. I'm okay with that. Joe, you don't know what the left is? That's the Democrat side. The Socialist, Communist, Marxist Party. That's who they are. Karma, especially if you have kids, love them. I miss your comment, Vilma. Sorry about that. I missed the comment. Sorry about that. The fact that he comes in and says President Trump is inept. Okay, inept. Okay. All right. He comes in accusing me. He comes in accusing me of making Trump points. Trump talking points, he says. Listen to how he starts the conversation, knowing that I support MAGA, knowing that I do like Trump, and I support him 100%. But I support him 100% because the policies that he has, which is putting America first, actually is something that I stand behind 100%. And the fact that he says Trump is inept, okay. What about the other side? You're blaming everything on Trump. And I begin by setting a foundation on the argument. Okay? We're going to talk about the economy in the country. Okay, I don't know everything about every state. But I put the foundation and I said, President Donald Trump is the commander-in-chief of the whole country. Every state has a commander-in-chief of the state, meaning that commander-in-chief of that state is responsible for their state. Some of the responsibility has to come off the commander-in-chief of the United States of America. Now, what have I seen Trump do with oil? $130 under Biden. We went down to $58 a barrel. He ignored that. He didn't care about that fact. He didn't care. These guys are playing check. You beat me, Rush. Yeah, this libtards. These guys are playing checkers. He said president's playing 4D chess. Oh man, I'm telling you. If you say you wanted to talk about the federal government, but then you came in and just making allegations about Trump, he's inept and this and that, well, that's not talking about the economy. You asked me a question about if prices were down. I said yes. Is gas prices going up now? Well, now, yes. Things change from day to night. I did say 2026 is going to be a very good year, and I still believe that. You know why? Because when they told us that going to attack Venezuela, they told us destroying those drug boats was a mistake. That turned out to be a lie. When we went in there and grabbed a dictator who had a warrant for his arrest, we did it. We didn't destroy the country. We didn't war. We had a precision attack, and then we extracted that person. We brought him to the States. Successful. The regime tried to fight back, and Trump said, don't test me. Now they sign a deal with us. Now we're going to have some friendship between Venezuela when before, when Nicolas Maduro was there, we didn't have any. Now he went and changed that subject while I was trying to tell him that. You know why? Because that makes President Trump look good. And he is so far left, he can't accept the fact that there is good things about President Donald Trump. If you already believe that he's inept, that he is responsible for everything, that he is the bad guy, that he is in the Epstein files, and he's guilty of this and all that, there is nothing for us to conversate. Does that make sense? There is nothing. So you say, why are you yelling? You're a trigger. Oh, I got you. You lost. I'm not talking about losing or winning over here. I raised my voice because I got you on speaker. And you're just cutting me off when I'm trying to say something. And then when you start bringing the same thing that I just answered, I know you didn't listen. But we have proof. Destroying those drug boats did slow the drug, coming into this country. Taking the dictator, Nicolas Maduro, did prove that the Venezuelan people, that 90% of the Venezuelans were right. That there's a dictator. And that there was political prisoners that they released. So the Venezuelan people were telling the truth. Comes in and don't listen to that. And then I bring out the precision strike and the nuclear Iran. He ignores that. He still calls them an inept. Then I mentioned right now in Iraq, we already killed the Ayatollah. We're going to kill everybody that steps up as the new Ayatollah leader. And that's a fact. Do you see China attacking us? No. They're staying in their lane. You know why? Because we don't have an inept president, as you so-called on the far left. Do you see Russia trying to attack the United States of America? No, because we don't have an inept president in the United States of America. Julia Garcia over here lies. How do you argue with this leftist, man? I don't think that these people have any comment. No, Serendipity. You lost my respect. You have Serenity. You lost my respect. Forget it. There is no point on talking to you. You don't want to have a conversation. Your mind is already made up. There's no conversation. I'm not trying to come in here and yeah, Julia, that was Biden, sweetheart. That was Biden. Yeah, very unfortunate. But whatever. Let's see. Hey, bingo. How about the completely destroying the IRGC Navy? Yeah, he's very inept. I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, I don't know what he's doing. Yeah, he saved the Middle East from nuclear disaster. Yeah, he's very inept. I don't know what he's doing. He's crazy. President Trump sucks. Uh, he told Iran, don't kill not one. This is a warning. He's so inept. He's so inept. He told the Ayatollah, Khamenei, if you shoot or kill one person, one Iranian, you're going to be sorry. You know what? He killed 30,000 plus. You know where he's at now? Where's Khamenei at? That's right. He's dead. And so is the other generals. This is how inept the president of the United States is, Donald J. Trump. He is so inept that he removed all this gender dysphoria people from the military, the suicidal people. Transgenders are the ones committing all these shootings in schools, even at ICE agents, killing actually innocent illegal immigrants. Innocent in a mean that they are not the hardcore criminals. They are being repatriated. Transgenders. They pump these chemicals into their body, disrupt their hormones. Makes us crazy. It makes the body crazy. So I don't support transgenderism. He does. Serenity supports that. Unbelievable. You see, that's why he didn't want to let me talk. Because he knows what I'm going to say. He knows that I'm going to point out everything that he also knows. You know why? Because he sees it on the news. Even CNN is putting them out there. He sees the other leaders coming into the Oval Office. He sees President Trump in Europe. He sees President Trump all over the world. And the leaders respect them. A lot of people and a lot of presidents in Latin America are looking out to President Trump. That's why we have the new group. What's the new group called? Something the Americas. Cutting Edge, you still here? Brian, you know, right? What is it called? The new America something. What is it? Shit. Let's see if somebody knows. Somebody that remembers what the name is of the new union. America's. What is it? Oh, my gosh. You know what? I haven't paid attention to it, and I should. Dang it. I should. But you know what? It's like a NATO. The equivalent of a NATO here for the Americas, for the Western Hemisphere. Thank you, David. Appreciate you. No, Evan, you have to understand something. To do the same thing over and over and getting the same results, that is insanity. I'm not going to sit here and continue America's counter cartel. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Wow. Oh, sound bitch. Yeah, the Americas, Shield of the Americas. That's what it's called. Shield of the Americas. That is so awesome. You guys have no idea. Guess what? Let's see. Losing is what you don't want to do over and over. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Serenity. I know when there's a brick wall that we'll never understand, and that's you, my friend. So we're going to go in a different route, okay? Sure, Fresen, no problem. I am in a cult. What are you into? As they remember, if they get you too fired up, they went, oh, I'm always fired up. That's something they don't understand. See, here's the thing, that I'm not this kind of guy that just backs down. I'm a fighter. And this is the reason why I don't go on protests. Because these guys will just create violence. And I can't stand there and do nothing. So there's that. Let's see. It's not the person that can't criticize Trump and calls his opponent gay. You are gay, but it's okay. You don't have to be offended by that. Hey, sweetheart. You don't have to be offended by that, bro. Just admit it. We're all gay. Gay means happy. I don't know why you're so retarded about it. This guy. Well, because you don't listen. That's it, okay? I try to give you a break and you don't listen. You don't listen. Every time that I try to tell you why, there is a reason why Trump has to do what he has to do today. And that is not because he made a mess. It's because he's cleaning it up. And there is a big difference. You can come and say, okay, well, Biden was cleaning up Trump's mess. Okay, what mess? Before Trump came in office, we were losing hundreds of billions of dollars. But after Trump came in, he put some tariffs in. You know what Biden's administration do? They kept those tariffs. You know why? Because they saw billions of dollars started to come into this country now. So they didn't say, oh, wait a minute, we're going to remove these tariffs that Trump put on China. You know why? Because we will still be losing hundreds of billions of dollars. And because of the tariffs on Trump that Trump has put on the world, we have gotten over $270 billion back. So if these corporations, I'm going to say this, and you know, like my mom used to say, you know, al que por su gusto muere, que lo entierren parado. If it's your choice to die, then let them bury you standing up so that you may never have rest. What that means is that if you are suffering and you defend what you're suffering of, that's your choice. I can tell you that we went through problems and economical hardship under Biden, and he wasn't making any money for us. He was wasting more money. Other countries were going down the shit because the United States of America, whether you like it or not, is Big Brother. That's why they call him Big Brother. And I saw during Biden's administration, socialist, communist, Marxists throughout the Americas were growing stronger. The people poorer and struggling, while their dictator communist governments was growing stronger, having mansions and their whole families taken care of. But the people of the countries were suffering because President Trump stepped up. Everything in Latin America is getting fixed up. Is there pushback? Yes, but things are getting fixed up. Not once has a leftist ever agree that prices have been down. Not one. This guy is no different. I get Maduro and Venezuela oil, and Iran is being dangerous, but why are we going to Cuba? Don't say to free peoples, because if that's the case, North Korea. Well, that's a good point, but you know what? North Korea is on the other side of the hemisphere, and we're trying to clean up on our side of the hemisphere, the Western hemisphere. I hope that you guys understand the difference. Cuba has so much potential. They shouldn't be living what they're living today. If you don't want an answer from me, go ask the Cuban people. Ask the Cuban people, what should President Donald Trump do? Don't ask me the question. Ask the Cuban people. Ask them and see what they say. I can tell you this, bro. Mind speak. You probably don't know this. In Cuba, you are not allowed to go and protest. You are not allowed to go on the streets if you belong to a different party than the Communist Party. People are oppressed. They live in fear every day. But that's their country. That's where they got to be. I commend these people. These people need help. Everything that the United States touches flourishes, whether you like it or not. It is. And notice I didn't say Trump. I said the United States of America. when we have the policies in place that we have right now, which again, I will repeat, Trump's policies are the same Democratic policies that we have been supporting as Americans all along. Even as a migrant, I supported these policies. As a resident, I could never vote, but I supported the policies. And I always said, the American people, you'll be okay. I didn't see a difference between Democrats and Republicans. I always thought that Americans will see this is what's best for the country. I'm going to vote for this. But that's not what I see. I see that people are the loyalists to a party. And the worst thing that you can do is if you are an American citizen, the worst thing that you can be is like Serenity, the Zinc Roofer, and all these leftist people that come in here just hate on the chat. I'm going to tell you why. Because the hate that they have for one man, it like blinds them from trying to see logic. And all they have learned from their side, it's you are a MAGA. And they get triggered by it. Like, so what? It doesn't matter if, the Gulf of America, it's the Gulf of America. Mexico is part of America. So why can't it just be America? I'm okay with that. See, people get triggered with this whole, things. They're like, oh, my freedom of speech, but not for thee, just for me. I think Trump is doing a tremendous job. Is he going to be perfect? Is he going to fail on some things? Yeah, absolutely. If he was perfect, oh my gosh, I don't know where I would go with that. I don't know where I would go with that. Serenity, you can go ahead and tell yourself all you want. But you know that what I'm telling you is the truth. The fact that you said that there were lies about Venezuela and Iran, you're a liptard, bro. You got to get out of that, man. You got to get out of that. I even gave you the example, and the guy says, and I can't believe that he mentioned the Epstein files. This is how you know they lost. When I said President Trump warned them to not kill one Iranian, Epstein files came up. Epstein files came up. And then he goes and say, oh, okay, so the Epstein files don't matter? What about this? We're not talking about the Epstein files. You brought up the Epstein files. That's the only leftist defense you have. And even that is wrong. And it's okay. You don't trigger me. I don't know. He's probably going back to the insulin, which, by the way, it's actually a lot cheaper now. And I agree with that. It's something that the reason why I argue with him is like that is the only thing that you have seen. Like, you didn't see the Venezuelan people being liberated, insulin pricing, which is a good thing, but you didn't see the Venezuelan people. It's crazy, right? I don't know, Raj babe. These people, they just like being blocked. I don't know. I don't want to block them because I hope that one day they can change their mentality. Exactly, Cutting Edge. Exactly. But you know what? Even that's going to be a lie. I'm sure he's going to type a lie. The State of the Union address showed who the Democrats are and where they stand is the best evidence we have already. And you're hearing that from two migrants who are American citizens now. So whatever you say is irrelevant. And it's crazy how entitled Americans just don't know how to do the best for their country. They can just show so much hate for one guy. Serenity, the next time that you try to have a conversation with somebody, how about instead of insulting the president, right? The person that the other person is talking about, instead of insulting the president, which is why I insulted you after that, it's if you want to talk about the economy on the federal level, you can't just come in and say, oh, the judge, $130 billion to pay back. Okay. What are you talking about? I want to talk about the economy. You said the federal economy, on the federal level. And then all you did was just throw dirt and shit on Trump. Okay. So what am I supposed to do at that point when you know that I support Trump? Well, now I got to defend him. Now I got to defend him. Right? And I defend it because I believe it is true. But if you come at me and you want to debate, well, let's debate first of all. Let's see what's happening. What's happening? All right. When President Trump put tariffs on China, China fought back. Right? We said, hey, we're going to continue to do it. And you know what China said? It doesn't matter how many Chinese people starve to death. The Chinese are strong people. No, nothing will change my mind about transgenders. I don't support it. I think it's demonic. It's a problem. It's a mental illness. It needs to be addressed. If you want to reaffirm gender, you do it right. You don't tell a boy that he's a girl, even though he believes he's a girl. You tell him the truth. And you work with that person so that they know who they really are. But you don't lead people into hell. You want to help them as much as you can. So anyway, if you want to talk about economy, then you tell me that the government, you're saying Trump's tariffs are illegal. They're unconstitutional. I said, no, they're not. Maybe the judges, what they put on there, maybe that's the way they saw it. That's not the way I see it. And the reason why I disagree with that, with the Supreme Court, is because the Democrats here in Washington State, they own the judges. And people got to really prove that point and make it public in order for those judges to change their mind. Some judges are getting fired. Judges are being held accountable for defending and hiding illegal immigrants. There is a lot of judges that should go to jail. I really believe that. DEI has been the biggest problem that we have in government. These judges that voted against Trump, it's okay. They got to do what they think is right, but that doesn't mean that it is. We got to accept it for what it is. I disagree with $130 billion going to these corporations because they're not going to give it to us. We also pay the price. We also pay the inflation. And so if you're going to argue, economy and federal level, you have to acknowledge that. You can't just come in here and celebrate that Trump has to pay this money back because of the unconstitutional tariffs. They're not unconstitutional. They told him practically, change the wording. You got to use something different. You can't do that one. The tariffs were lower. They got 15% tariff increase. Good job making it worse. President Trump is right about the tariffs. And if it wasn't for the tariffs, we wouldn't be able to bring peace to the world. We wouldn't be able to bring people to come and negotiate and make a deal with us. That's what you people don't understand on the left. I get it, man. You hate Trump, but you know what? That's not how you... Don't try to debate me when you hate Trump. Because you're going to find everything negative, and no matter what answer I give, you're just not going to accept it. So again, I was talking about Washington State's economy. I tell you what I see here. The gas prices are not at the barrel of oil. I think it stopped at 90, maybe $100. It went back up. Let's take a look. All right, it's up to $90. It went down $10 from earlier. You know, as I said before, it's okay, Brian. They'll never accept it. Libtards are libtards, man. Doesn't matter what we say. But you know, the price of the oil, even if it goes to 100, 115, 130 has been Biden's record. I believe that once we get this insurance payments going through here, these companies will bring the prices back down. And remember this year, I don't foresee this war going over a year, but well, not our war. Again, you don't confuse that. I don't know how else to put it. I think I'm going to have to just accept that it's a war, but it's not our war. we got to make sure that this battle is taken care of. And once we do that, I think that our gas prices is going to go right back down to like 60 to 70 bucks. And I guarantee you, every single Democrat city and state, the prices of food and gas will always stay high. You know what I noticed? The more President Donald Trump has been lowering the prices of everything, the more the Democrats are raising their taxes and regulations. That's something that he doesn't want to accept. I can't blame somebody that has, at least is trying to fix it. But somebody that allowed millions of illegal immigrants to come into this country, man, how can you ever forget about that? I just don't see it. I don't see it. But anywho, I gave you a chance. I already know that I don't want you on the phone because the same thing happened last time. You wanna act like you're shutting somebody down. You're not supposed to debate to shut somebody down. You're supposed to get there to get the other person's opinion. You see, you celebrate prematurely. That doesn't allow for a debate to continue. That's the problem. Is your goal to just get the other person upset? You think that's what debating is about? Because that's not what debating is about. Debating is just to get people's opinions out there. I love this debate between a socialist and a capitalist professor. The socialist professor was a little bit more on the offensive side, but the capitalist professor was defending the socialist. Hey, people, be respectful. Let him say what he needs to say. I disagree with what he said, but this is what I say. Not once did the person celebrate it, that the other person disagreed with them. I hope that you have more time to grow up and understand that. As I said before, I have people call in here, and we had some heated conversations, but at the end of the day, we had a good conversation. Serenity tried to get me on everything. Yeah, you know what? It is what it is. I understand. But you know what? If you call me gay, call me gay. That's fine. I am gay. What? So what? You get offended and you get triggered by somebody calling you gay. Yeah, that's a problem, isn't it? But you know what? I still have fun. And I want you guys to know that. I thank you guys for your support on here. I appreciate it. I know that you guys, you guys' opinions matter. You guys already know. It is what it is. It is the boss. Serenity, just admit it, man. You are ruined. You're broken. You got to fix it. You got to fix that brain. 425 is in Washington State. No, I don't. I'm an American citizen. But thanks for trying. And the next time you call me and tell me that illegal immigrants don't get benefits, shut the hell up. Come and find out. Everybody knows it. Cutting Edge, he knows it. Until next time, guys, have a good night, man. I spent so much time tonight. This is not what I was going to do. You all be blessed, man. God bless you and your family. God bless the USA. Keep it real.